Hey, is anybody else having any problems with their coins loading in?
Uh, I haven't really noticed anything.
Because I have about 20 coins and I tried to exchange them and everything, and they're not loading in.
What?
Yeah.
That's
He's been
weird.
doing that lately, Critter.
I'm sorry, hon. Repeat that one more time.
It's been doing that lately.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it's not just me because I've tried everything. I went to the exchange page and I went and I hit it about 6 times and it said that it was doing it, but I'm not getting them. This is weird.
By the way, Lawler, you
Thanks,
like my new
Trump.
background?
I'm sorry, what?
You like my new background?
There we go. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Some piss some people, some MAGA off. You know how they used to be like, thanks, Obama? I'm going to start saying, thanks, Trump.
Thanks, Trump. You know what? Who remembers, just real quick before we get any of these maggots up here, who remembers Married with Children?
Love them.
Yeah, I used to watch it. Yep. Love and
You know
marriage.
how you remember how Peggy used to tell the kids, thank your father, thanks, Dad.
Right.
Yep.
I'd be like, okay, America, thank Trump.
Thanks, Trump.
Thanks, Trump.
Fucking Trump. Fuck Trump.
The only thing he's ever done for me is made me run around to all the trailer parks and start like stealing their tires off their.
Incoming, incoming. Hey, Republican. Oh, Republican with manners. Well, nice to meet you. Can you give us age, state who you voted for, please?
Age, state, and who I voted for. Is that what you said? Sorry, you cut out for a second.
That's
I'm
okay.
21. I'm 21. I'm from Louisiana. And in 2024 election, I voted for Donald Trump.
Okay. Go ahead, Slay.
Oh, good God. Why do you support the pedo in chief?
I don't believe, I've heard that argument a lot. I don't believe that being a quote unquote pedophile has anything to do with the competency of running the country. I have a hypothetical.
Christ.
I have a hypothetical for you. I have a quick question for you. So, if Kamala Harris admitted to doing the same things Epstein was convicted of, and she was for some reason allowed to run for presidency against Donald Trump again, who would you vote for, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Third party.
You'd vote for third party.
I'd go
So-
third fucking party. Damn fucking straight. I would not. I don't give a fuck how qualified she is. I don't give a fuck if she had all the best policies in the fucking world. And if she could have the fucking way that she was gonna fucking make world fucking peace. But you know what? If she did the shit that she was accused that fucking Epstein and Trump were accused of, you got me fucked up. She would not get my vote.
Okay.
And that's
I mean,
what
I
you
support-
should think
I support that
about
argument.
things. This is the guy who's fucking representing our fucking country. And I mean, come on. Would you put your kids in a fucking daycare center that you found out that the guy, had been to prison for, messing with little kids? Would you feel safe with that?
Possibly not. No, probably not. I have a
No,
I have
then
a child.
why would you put that same person
probably.
in charge of the country?
Because I think that's a different aspect. I think being in charge of the country he has done more things in life overall versus the few things he has done that are negative when it comes to personal life. I think when it comes to a president, no matter what you have done in life, whether good or bad, your actual policies and the things that you create and do for the country are more important than that. You can go to someone like George Washington. George Washington was a slave owner and he had like 9 wives, right? But you would probably agree that George Washington was a good president. Or at least I would hope so, because he helped found our country. So while he did terrible things, he was a great president. While Trump has done terrible things, and I agree with that, he is still a great president because he's good at negotiating. He's a successful businessman. He has done great things with Iran. Like, overall, he is a good president, and I think he's better than Kamala Harris.
Let's talk about that for a second. Great things with Iran. War crimes? The war crimes? That's the great thing?
Not war crimes. Not war crimes. Iran has committed war crimes more than anybody. Israel has committed even more war crimes than Iran and the U.S.
Okay, let's stop right there. Then why the fuck would we give Israel any more motherfucking weapons, a fucking dime of our fucking money, if that's what they're using our money to commit war crimes? Why would we do that? Why would we assist that? Wouldn't that be like you, and that your neighbor's a rapist and then you're just fucking, you're over here feeding the motherfucking Viagra every goddamn day? I mean, wouldn't that be kind of like, you being a fucking accomplice to what he's fucking doing? I mean,
in a way, yes, for that scenario.
Just because another country is committing war crimes, does that mean that we should do the same fucking thing? You said he was good at negotiating. If he is, then why didn't he negotiate diplomatically instead of having to fucking go over here and start a fucking useless fucking war that we are paying for?
Well, he did. We had a treaty, and then Israel decided to break that treaty by bombing Iran, and for some reason, look, it's Israel's. But back to it. Nope. Let me finish this. Hey, let me finish the statement real quick. I do not agree with everything Trump has done, just like I don't agree with a lot of presidents and a lot of things people do in politics have done. Being in partnership with Israel is one of the things I do not agree with Trump. I think overall he is a better positive candidate, and he has done more good than bad this year and in 2016. But I do not believe that the deal with Israel was a positive thing. I think we should have stayed out of it. I completely agree with you on that, 100%. I don't understand why Trump would even do it. I don't understand why Trump would do it.
What's something good that he's done for the average American? Not a rich person. I don't give a fuck if you make $100,000 or more a fucking year because you're not affected by it. But what has he done to help the working class person, the average people that make like $51,000 and less a fucking year? What's he done to help us? Because goddamn it,
taxes.
Our fucking economy fucking sucks our balls.
Or our GDP is higher than it was in Joe Biden's administration and Obama's administration.
Our GDP is growing very slowly, and the reason why it's growing is because we have to fucking eat. We have to buy toilet paper. We have to buy fucking soap to wash our ass with. I mean, we have to buy gas to go to work. I mean, it's just shit that
we have to buy gas, but the U.S. is the largest oil distributor in the entirety of the world, so we don't have to buy gas.
We do not use our oil. Do you know we pump out a sweet crude? We need that sour crude, and we don't make that. That does not come out of our ground here. So yeah, we produce a lot of oil, but if you look at it, we don't even produce what we use. We don't produce enough in one day as what we use in one day. So technically, yes, we do have to rely on getting our oil from other fucking places, but we personally do not. We don't even have the refineries, and we did have other refineries, but God damn it, fucking Trump's son decided he was going to sell that to the fucking Saudis. So, I mean, we don't even have refineries to even refine our oil into what we could use here in the United States. But what comes out of our ground, we can't even fucking use that shit. So
we cannot.
Yeah,
we cannot. No. But do you know what the price is differential to usable gas? Do you know what the price is? It's 2.2 to 1. So the things we produce are worth a little bit more than 2 times what they're giving us in return. So we don't need to. We have the money for it, right? That's not the issue.
We don't sell our oil. We're not going to sell our oil for more than what anybody else is selling theirs for, because then nobody's going to buy our shit.
No, I'm saying no. Other people who are producing the same oil we do are selling it at about a 2.2x margin compared to gas you can use to, for example, fuel up your car or a generator. So that's all countries. We are just the largest producers in that. So money is not that objective issue. But he has done tax cuts which were beneficial to everybody in the big beautiful bill. I mean, he's done so many things. And then 2016, the way he dealt with COVID was even better.
He fumbled it.
He did not fumble COVID. It happened in
He
the
fumbled
last.
it.
It did not.
You're
He did not
only.
fumble it. He did not.
You
It did
said you're what?
not.
You said you're 21, right?
I'm 21. I'm about to be 22. Yes.
Okay, so you wasn't even over 18 by the when that fucking shit happened. So don't
No.
don't even come with that shit. I mean, I lived through it. I mean, I'm fucking 55, so I lived through that fucking goddamn shit. I seen what the fuck we had to go through. I've seen this man come on TV and say that we should come up with a way to inject fucking bleach and disinfectant. But I can't go deep into
Well,
this because TikTok will give you and I both a violation over this because it does not like us speaking about COVID because of that fucking reason.
well, we don't have
But
to go
he
deep into it, but
fumbled
that
it.
is the way. That is the way the cure was made. The vaccine was made by doing that, by what he said, and the doctors he implemented in. So it wasn't a fumble. It was good. Um, while Biden decided to put $1.9 trillion into medical refineries that we already had a cure for, or sorry, already had a vaccine for, as it started stopping. And then we decided not to tax any other country, mainly China, for doing the things when other countries decided to request certain materials and taxes from China.
So you hold on. Well, just one thing. I mean, like I said, I hate this subject, but I have to fix this one with you. Okay, so the C-19 vaccination. You think that they came up with that because of Trump's idea? Wrong.
It was not
Wrong.
Trump's idea. No, it was not Trump's idea.
Because
But Trump was the
you,
one
you
who started
way
it.
before you. I was gonna say probably around the time you were born. We had this little issue once before, and it wasn't as bad as C-19, but we did come across SARS-1 a long fucking time ago, and
That was before I was
after
born. Yes.
that, yeah, and after that, they started working on developing a vaccine. So, as far as like the vaccine being manufactured, it was already being worked on. So for well over almost 20 fucking years they were working on it. So when this fucking C-19 came along, all they had to do was make some adjustments to fight the new proteins, and that's why it was able to come out as quick as it did. And even I didn't realize that until I actually did some research and actually looked into things, because at first I was like, I'm not going to take something that they just fucking developed in a matter of fucking months. But, we all have super fucking computers in our goddamn hands. So I had to educate myself. And the more I looked into this and educated myself on, that's how they were able to come up with this so fucking quickly. And that's oh good God, that's the whole point of this. I mean, is that's how it came out so fast, because we already were working on this technology already, and we just had to revamp it and make it to where it would take care of the new protein. So I've spoke long enough. You are being respectful. I do appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and mute up, and I'm gonna pass it on to whoever would be next in line. So if we have an order, please let us know.
All right. Queen, go ahead. Why are we getting a substance feature? No one's been on camera. Queen, go ahead.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay, then it's Riley Critter Raffy.
Dean.
Okay. Huh?
So I said Dean. I was just on Dean Withers live like 2 hours ago. So I said Dean.
Were you like talking to him?
Yeah, I was just in his live.
You were like just sitting in there watching.
No, I wasn't
my-
watching. I was like on it.
I would have liked to have seen how that went.
It was decent. Pretty good.
On your behalf or his?
I think we both came to a conclusion that we weren't going to agree on the things, but he conceded to a couple of my arguments, and I conceded to his.
I'll watch
As
The
long
God
as
tomorrow.
Yeah, you should. As long I was like one of the first people. As long as I just wanted to make sure that he was okay with abortion, pre 22 weeks. He said that he recently changed his ideals to 24 to 22 weeks. Um, and that was it. And then we talked about some other stuff with like Iran, which I had to concede on some of the stuff. But yeah,
Okay. My question is, how are you able to trust a man who can barely use actual words properly and pronounce them properly and has had this many cognitive tests and is quite clearly in the stages of dementia to run this
okay.
country?
I will answer that question. A quick question before I answer that: did you vote for Joe Biden over Trump?
I did not get to vote. That's
Okay, if you
my
had the opportunity,
situation.
would you have voted for Biden over Trump?
I wouldn't have voted for Trump, I can tell you that.
But so you would have voted for Biden?
I don't know. I was not in. I can't explain that situation.
Biden wasn't on the docket.
I'm saying in 2020.
I cannot explain the situation of why I couldn't vote at that time
Okay, that's fine.
and why
But,
I wasn't into politics at that time.
okay, but whether or not do you have any knowledge of what Biden did in the last 4 years, and after these two, obviously, but the last 4 years? Do you have any knowledge of that?
He doesn't have dementia. Why are we
He d-
talking about Biden?
Well, I'm
We're
trying to
supposed to be
make a
talking about
point.
Trump.
Well, yeah, but you have to bring up other things to prove a point, right? But I'll answer your question. My whole point to say was, if you're going to vote for Biden, Biden literally made 0 sentences, and then he sadly had cancer after, which is terrible. But like that caused many cognitive dysfunctions. But with Trump, there is no evidence that he has any dementia. People can speculate all they want to, but there is no hard evidence that he has dementia, so I cannot say that. And then
Are you?
who says?
Oh my god.
Well, has he came out and said I have dementia? Because if he was,
He's not going to admit it.
well, exactly. But so, do you have any hard evidence that he has dementia? No. So back to what I was saying.
He calls Iran the Islamic Republic of Japan.
When? You mean in the press hearing?
He can't talk properly.
He can.
He falls
He
asleep.
speaks fluent sentences. Well,
No,
he's an
he
older
doesn't.
man. He speaks fluent sentences. He has interviews. He has press interviews. He addresses the
Oh my
country and the
God.
nation.
He can't
So
even
can
stay
speak.
awake during stuff. What are you talking about?
Well, he's an older man, but also he can. He stayed awake. He has rallies all the time.
Stop
So
making excuses.
he can. I'm not making excuses. I'm going
Yes,
against your
you
point.
are.
That's literally the whole point of what we're doing. Is I'm going against your point. I'm bringing you
Rage-
evidence.
As Rage pointed out, he needs help to walk.
He needs help to walk. I've seen him walk perfectly
Yes.
fine. I went to a rally. He walked perfectly fine in Oregon.
With someone holding his arm and walking with him.
No, I'm assuming you're talking about
Yes.
Secret Service, which that's their legal obligation. They did the same thing with Obama.
Oh
They did
my
the same thing with
God.
Joe Biden.
No, you're right,
So-
Carly. You're right. Because they have to point him where to go. Because he doesn't know. And he has a gait that is off. He can't walk straight. Yeah.
Yes,
but maybe that's his bone spurs.
Well, yes, he has to get pointed where to go because that's their job, Secret Service's job. Every president gets pointed where to go. At least he's not
my
falling
God.
downstairs like Joe Biden. Obama
No, he's
was in great
falling
health care and he
upstairs.
did great thing. Both
He's
ways.
falling upstairs.
It's bad either way. But what I'm saying is that I don't think that Donald Trump is at any incapacity. If anything, he is at higher capacity because he has had multiple assassination attempts and is still going strong and doing good decisions with our country.
And do you
And
think that's
also-
real?
I think what's real?
The assassination attempts.
Yes.
Okay, that tells me enough. All right.
Do you
next
have any
person.
evidence? Do you have any evidence that is not real?
Next person.
Oh my
Okay,
fucking god.
exactly.
His-
Critter,
his
please
ear-
go.
His ear. Okay. Critter, go before I lose it.
Please, Critter.
It's my turn. Oh, you just unleashed a tiger. Young man, you're 21 years old. You do not remember the first time Dump was in office. Also, you really seriously need to go to a library and learn how politics works and how the justice system and all this other stuff works. And the fact that a lot of things that Biden had was handed to him by what Trump did. Okay? So, in other words, when even the same thing with Trump. When Trump was in office the first time, everybody's like, oh, the economy is so great. The reason why it was so great was because the president before him, Obama, had made it great, and he inherited that economy. Okay, but the other thing, oh Jesus Christ, you have my butthole puckering so badly. I need a suppository.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, do you want to pause so I can answer some of your claims real
no,
quick?
no, I really don't
Okay,
because
that's fine.
I understand that you're passionate about certain things, but I am going to point out how blind you actually are, and it's sad because anybody that has a brain has heard every comedian so far really seriously ripping into Donald Trump and showing every time he stutters, he pronounces words wrong, he slurs. There's been articles that of people that have actually worked with him on The Apprentice that said he has shit his diapers so many times that they've had to change them that the smell was so bad. There's a picture out even of his security that he went behind one of the columns. He's destroyed the White House. He's destroyed the reflecting pool. He promised that there was no new wars. What are we in? We're in a war. Everything that he has said that was done. Yeah, he might have tried to even do it. Like even this whole thing, what the next thing. Oh well, I'm so glad he's getting rid of the immigrants. No, he's not. What's actually happening is they're being put into individual prisons, okay, that are privately owned. Okay, they're not being deported. They're not doing anything else. They're being starved to death and beaten and graped and everything else. Okay, I think you seriously need to pay more attention to what you think is so wonderful because it's not. Now I will land my plane.
Okay. So we'll start from the beginning. The 2016 election, I was fully aware of that. Um, I know everything about it. I was highly educated as a child due to my mother because my mother was big into politics. My mother was a DA in Louisiana, and she was also a parish president. So I was, from a very young age, implemented in politics. So I do know a lot about 2016. Secondary, when it comes to all the propaganda or things you're saying with comedians, number one, comedians are not of any political stature. So how am I going to take what they say at an account? But also, that's comedians' job is to take situations now and implement them into a joke. They did the same thing with Biden. I mean, one of my favorite comedians, actually, Gabriel Iglesias, made jokes about Trump and Biden. Another one who's an older comedian, Jeff Dunham, he's a ventriloquist, one of the most popular comedians in the world, has a literal doll making fun of Joe Biden, and he has a doll making fun of Donald Trump. It's their jobs, okay? And then the third part about Trump stuttering and things of that nature, well, so did Biden, and everyone says Biden was a great president, but so did Biden. Biden couldn't make comprehensible sentences most of the time, and that's perfectly fine. He was an older man. Trump is an older man. I don't think that takes away his stature in any way because of the things he's doing,
I
right?
step back up again.
Well,
I step back
hold
up.
on. I got to finish. I'll let you finish.
Yeah,
I'll let
go
you
ahead.
finish. Do you mind letting
Go
me
ahead.
finish? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, and then nextly with Obama did give his country to Trump because Trump became president. You're completely right. It was in a great state overall, but it was another 2 years into Donald Trump's term to where people started congratulating Trump and saying the amazing things he was doing financially for the country. Okay, and then whenever he got back in office
When
two
did that
years ago,
happen? When did
it was
that
two,
happen?
it was about 2 years into his 2 years into his inauguration after being appointed president. About 2 years after, people between Fox News, CBS, and other news stations and political articles and just normal articles were saying the financial level of America and things that Trump was doing, while there was a lot of negatives, there was also a lot of positives. That was 2 years after Biden administration, or sorry, not Biden administration, Obama administration. So then now, after Biden wasted $2 trillion on COVID and did a bunch of other things that, I mean, we can get into, but he did a bunch of other things. Trump got a terrible economy at the time. And then, while yes, he did
No, he
promise
didn't.
no war, he did go into the Iran war. He did send the first strike, which was necessary. And I understand that if you know anything about politics, you'll probably bring up the fact that he let them have more enriched uranium, but that was because the amount of money that was being spent to uphold deals on that side of the contract, and it benefited us at the time. And it was a whole different time stature. It was in 2015 when Obama signed that deal. So it was a different time stature. I think that covers just about it. Yeah, that covers. And oh no, last thing, I didn't say anything about immigration. You don't know my opinion on immigration, so I don't know how you can bring up immigration in my topics. And I also don't have. I don't think you have, nor do I have any like hard, truthful evidence
Oh, but
of
I
any.
do. Oh, but I
Let me finish
do.
talking. Sir, I let you talk. Please let me talk.
Holy shit! Wait, stop.
We just got a galaxy.
Ah, that was for quiz. From quiz to Republican.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Quiz. Thank you so much, Quiz. I appreciate you, brother man. I
You know
appreciate
that
For those,
Slay
thank
gets
you. I
some of
got
that
some of those
too.
coins. Yep.
Hey, I support Slay. I'm glad Slay is getting any money from this. I'm glad that
I'm not.
TikTok
I'm not
Live
talking
is
to
a
you.
good
I'm
political
talking
thing.
about. I'm talking to Quiz. Quiz, you know that Slay gets some of that too. So if this was your, oh my god, I'm going to support Republican, you just supported Slay too. Congratulations.
You supported us both, and I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. So, and just finishing what I'm saying, I do not have any hard evidence of any, I guess, concentration camps as you're describing in a way, of any illegal immigrants. I know there is holding stations that are not ran the best; they are ran poorly, but I do not have any hard evidence of grape. I do know there is quote unquote beating that is allowed under the statute of those camps, but I don't have any hard evidence, nor do I think you do, of any grape. So
But I do. Oh, but I
that's
do.
all my
Slay,
evidence.
Slay, you are the master of showing us. If you could, please. Thank you.
Riley Jasper said, I don't have any evidence of anything. Well, I do. Okay.
Critter, what you need?
Bring up the most recent private prison that the immigrants are in, and the article of what just recently happened.
All right, I gotta look it up. If he's talking immigration, I put my hand in after
Oh
after
yeah,
Queen there. So
because I also kind of brought that up because that seems to be a lovely topic of MAGA supporters, even if they don't say it. That's one of their major, yeah.
hold on, I'm trying to figure out like what to type in to get to the.
I forget the name of the damn camp. That's the worst part of
Damn.
it. But
Same.
yeah.
I do want to say, I don't agree with how we're doing deportation. I think it should be ran differently, but I
Well,
do support
you and I can
deportation
talk
overall.
about that later. We'll talk about that
For
later.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
See, the thing of it is you hear and you talk about propaganda, okay? Everything that even Trump's doing right now is being shot down by the courts. Okay, in other words, they're stopping him from doing a lot of the shit that he wants to do. There's something, a little thing, and I know Rage or somebody up here, I know one of my fellow panelists can back me up. The whole Project 2025 deal. Every bit of it is being shredded. Even though it seems like it's going through, it's being knocked down.
I will agree. Due to implication of states, yes.
Yeah.
Continue.
Is it the
It,
Atalanto Ice Processing Center?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the other thing is too is that the economy right now is tanking. It's tanking again. Even if things look like it's okay, it's not as good as you think. Our national debt has been added to majorly. So yeah, Queen, we're trying, hon. Lawler's looking up the stuff, but if anybody else needs to step, next panelist, please.
Yeah, I'll wait. I do want to say about. I think you said something about the pool that was due to improper construction. That's Trump does not. Trump was not on the labor force controlling construction. He also was not the one who directly hired the construction team. So I mean, you can't really
He's the
directly
one that
blame
drove his
Trump.
motorcade through it. He drove his motorcade through it, and yeah, he's the one that is bragging that he's the real estate man and the man that rebuilds everything. He's the one that takes credit for what he did to the White House, that he designed everything, and yeah, so it is Trump.
Yes, but designing, like if you build a house and you hire contractors to build a house, you're not going to find the contractor yourself. Most likely, you're going to have, or sorry, you're not going to find the plumber or the electrician. The contractor will, because they have trusted people, right? So also, if you walk into your house and it's messed up in some areas, it's not your fault that the house messed up. It's the people who built its fault that house messed up, right?
It's
And
your
him, and
fault that
him
you hired
driving.
a It's your fault that you hired a shoddy craftsman.
Yes, but Trump didn't directly hire it. He has advisor teams that did that after he got passed to revamp it, or renovate it. Sorry, it was not the fact that he directly hired them. He actually tried to apply to directly hire somebody that he knew that had done casino work for him before, and they rejected that because of I don't even know exactly why. I couldn't tell you without lying, so I'm not going to. But he did try to get some people that he personally knew that have done work for him before, and they rejected that idea. Same thing with the White House. They rejected that. They made people who already had government contracts do the work.
Okay. Critter, was it my migraine brain is not braining right now. Um, were you just talking about the conditions in that ICE detention center?
Yes, and plus the fact that they also just even recently, I don't know if you could. It's in the article that they literally had sent somebody in there and um, basically found that it was beyond just unlivable. But
Oh, Padilla went
yeah,
in. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he went in. And then the quote from one of the people is they treat us like dogs and cats. But in Padilla's his excerpts, it says that they are denied basic human rights. So, but I can go over that more with you. I know that Queen is itching. So
I'm okay with letting Queen go. I do want to say that basic human rights, I feel like is subjective to who you ask,
no
right?
no 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 no. You and I can we'll do that later. Go ahead, Queen.
Okay, that's fine.
No, well, I was gonna say, Rafi's back up here. It's his turn, and then I'll go after him.
All
So,
right,
Rafi, wanna
Rafi, go
go?
ahead, man.
I appreciate y'all. How y'all chilling? Shout out all this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ray. Shout out everybody else on the panel. Y'all lit. Cheers. Um, I just wanted to clarify something said earlier in regards to an analogy made. It was a false equivalency. I want to be very clear in regards to the reflecting pool. Right? The analogy made was you had somebody building a house. It's already a false equivalency as the house is already made, and nothing is wrong with the house. However, the new person who moved into the house didn't like the way that the house looked, and thus they hired a remodeling team, and then that remodeling team made the house look worse. And thusly, it is entirely on that person who decided to go into the house that was working fine and then hire the remodeling team. Even if it was a second party who did it, say there was a middleman who he hired to hire the remodeling team, he still made the executive decision to remodel in the first place, and thusly it is on him, just to make that analogy concise, because it was a false equivalency prior. Secondly, as far as like all the stuff about the because this is what I have up in terms of my notes. All the stuff that was being said prior in regards to like one, Trump not falling and Biden falling. Trump has fallen. That's been documented. The idea that one of them did something for, again, we're not going to talk about it for someone. One of them did something for C-19, the other didn't. Again, that's false. Economists show mixed reviews for both of them when it comes to their response to C-19 as a whole. There was something about Biden spending 1.9 trillion on C-19. Trump spent 2.2 trillion on C-19. So I understand, you know what I'm saying, having these kinds of critiques, right, about the Biden presidency and the things that he did. But we have to hold that same mirror to not be a hypocrite towards Trump in that same way, and thusly Trump is not doing as well as at least compared to Biden, right? If we're gonna have that kind of conversation. Past that, I do land my plane. I didn't really come up to debate. I just come up to fact check real quick. I appreciate y'all, and cheers one more time.
Thanks, Rafi.
Yeah. He didn't debate, so I'm not going to debate his topics about everything. I will say about the whole White House thing, every single president.
Big guy, you just said you're not going to debate it. Let's not run that. Next person, please.
Okay, I'll run that back, Rafi. Yeah. First of all, yeah, he's the one who destroyed the East Wing of the White House because he thinks he's gonna be there for, and he said this, and I quote, "I will be here for another 8, 9 more years." So he's already saying he's not going anywhere, and he's thinking he's gonna win a fourth term or fifth term or whatever. He thinks the Constitution, it's his Constitution to do whatever the hell he wants. First of all, no, you can't. You can't do whatever the hell you want because even though you're president, you still got to follow the Constitution of the United States. Hence why, like, you know, he can't run more than 2 terms, even though he's trying to find loopholes, which is never going to happen. And also about someone who is a contractor who's trying. Well, we're not going to take him. You're not going to get from me until I'm done talking. So
I will
I'm
not.
making that right now. I'm talking. You're gonna wait till I'm done, then I'm gonna ask you a question. So where I'm going with all this is that this guy here, one, likes to fall asleep on camera because the whole country and the world has seen it. Number two, he does not speak well when he talks in public, especially at rallies, because all he likes to do is sit there and point the blame on other people. He calls the Democrats. He likes to use different, word salad. He doesn't go up there and talk about things that the American people voted him to talk about. He just likes to go up there and like to hear himself talk. So my question to you, and we're just going to talk about one thing. We're not going to talk about 10,000 things, because quite honestly, my brain does not want to comprehend tonight. So my one question to you is this, and I want you to really think about this. What one thing has this president personally done for you to make not only your life better, but the better life of all of America? What has he done for us? One thing.
Just one. Miss Queen, you said just one?
Just one.
Gotcha. Okay. Cut taxes.
Okay, cut taxes for who?
American citizens.
No, he did not. And let me explain why.
It was in.
Because
Well, hold on. I need to
let
make a
me
counter
let me
argument. Okay, I'll let you explain.
hold
Go ahead.
on. I'm going to speak. I'm going to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah.
Number one, I'm going to. Okay, hold on. We're going to discuss this.
hmm
No, it did not help the American people. Matter of fact, it hurt the American people because the tax cut only went to his rich millionaire, billionaire, and trillionaire friends. So they get the biggest tax cuts. And under the one big ugly bill, there was supposed to be no tax on overtime. Well, guess what? That's not happening either. And no tax on tips? No, that's not happening either, because when someone works in the restaurant industry, like if someone works on, I'm not going to say name of restaurants, but like if they're a waiter or waitress or a bartender, even if they get a cash tip, they still have to report that to the IRS. So no, they didn't get any type of breaks on that either. So under this tax bill that he supposedly signed in last year, did not help anybody at all. Nobody got the help that they needed.
Okay.
So explain to me why you think that the tax helped the middle class, because I just explained it didn't. It just made things worse.
Okay, totally. So, I came from lower class. My mother was still in lower class during that happening, and her taxes were better. I am now in upper middle class to upper class, and my taxes are better. I have multiple direct friends who work in the blue collar industry, and a lot of their payment is overtime, and they do get no taxes on overtime. While yes, they still have to report it to the IRS, and my fiance, she used to right after this all happened, she used to work at a restaurant before she quit her job, and she did not have tax. She did not get taxed on her cash tips and but tip sharing is still a thing, and that's up to restaurant discrepancy, not up to the government. If the restaurant wants you to tip share, that's up to them, not up to you, not up to the government. So that you can't say that. While yes, it did happen, some restaurants want you to tip share and force you to tip share. It's part of your job. It's in your contract. So that had to happen. That's
Yeah,
that's my argument
okay,
that
so
I can
yeah,
personally say.
yeah, I understand that, but the thing is, and I'm gonna say this because the fact that yeah, I understand about tip sharing, especially in the restaurant industry, because tip sharing does happen in places like this. And Referee, if you don't mind, can you fact check me on that? On the fact that about the no tax on overtime, because if I'm not mistaken, it's only up to a certain percentage of overtime they can tax, but beyond that,
Yes.
it's not taxable. I'm not 100% sure.
So there's both a
Fortunately,
limit and
if
there is a. Oops, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just saying there's both a limit and there's a deadline for it. So it actually runs out. It's not a forever forgiveness on that taxation.
Thank you. So yes,
Excuse
it's
me,
not
but the
like he's not.
host, yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Queen, but
it,
Slay said something down in the comments. The host said something. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Queen.
yeah, he did. He said, yeah, and that's why I'm trying to correct him on that. Not Slay, but to Republican, yes. And I saw that. So yeah, and Rafi's right. So yeah, it is not forever. It was just only, this stuff like he put in this bill is only a temporary fix. It's not a permanent solution. So if you want to really help the middle class, once you why couldn't he just like get the pressure off of the middle class by stop taxing them heavy and let his friends, the one percenters, take get the largest tax break ever in American history, because he only cares about one thing and one thing only. And I'm going to land my plane because I know that Lawless is jumping at the bits about her topic. Um, but I'm going to say this: the way that this country is going, as long as you get this guy in office, or any of these MAGA Republicans in office, they only care about lining their pockets with money. They only care about, what one hand watches the other, especially if you make more than $1 million in your bank account. That's all they care about is, oh, I got $50 million, I got $100 million, I got 500 million. I don't have to worry about paying that much in taxes. Meanwhile, someone who's been working this same job for 20 plus years is working 2 or 3 jobs because they can't meet demands because labor, the food prices are still going up, so people can't afford to eat. Gas prices are going up because they can't afford to put gas in the car, and that's all because the fact that the hourly rate in this country hasn't changed in 20 plus years. So how are people supposed to afford things when you get the federal tax rate at 7.25 an hour, but yet you get these some of these states who are paying 10, 15 times more than that for the people in their state, but yet the federal government doesn't do nothing. And with that, I'm going to pass on to Lawless because I know she's got a lot to say to you about her topic.
Okay, I understand that. I do need to say something though. The 20-year, the fact that minimum wage hasn't. I know, but it's not really a debate if you don't let me
Lawless is
speak
going to
my
talk.
point. Okay, that's fine. Just
No,
conceding.
we can
That's
let
fine.
them. We can let them debate. Also, Rafi, did you just have fact check stuff?
Yes, please.
Well,
All right,
like
yeah.
I
You
said, we're already
when you're
on the
breaking up like real bad too,
topic.
Queen.
It's fine. We can run it as a concede, and I'll go with loss.
No, no. Wait, everyone, wait. Oh my God, Rafi, you got some fact check things. I definitely want you to go before me. Republican, I do want to give you a chance to reply. Whether I answer that or Queen answers that, that's fine. Whether she chooses to answer that, that's up to her. I know she wants to pass it off, but I will let you speak your piece. But Rafi, go ahead, man.
I appreciate just quick check according to the Tax Policy Center and the Institute for Taxation and Economic Policy. Uh, Trump's tax plan, both his 2017 tax plan and his BBB, did not cut taxes for everybody, and it actually added taxes for some brackets. That is again per Tax Policy Institute, or Tax Policy Center. I'm sorry, and the Institute for Taxation and Economic Policy. That is my only fact check. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Republican, what did you want to say in response?
And to him or to Queen?
To Queen, whatever you were gonna
Gotcha.
say to her.
Sorry, I was listening to him, so I kind of forgot Queen stuff. I believe. Can you refresh my memory? I'm so sorry. I was listening to him.
Um,
Brain fog.
I'm sorry, I was
Yeah,
looking
it's the
up
same.
things, so
It's fine. No,
I'm so
you're fine.
sorry.
My daughter's running
Um,
around, and I'm trying to listen to him. I completely forgot what her topic was.
I get it. Do you want to just move on?
We could just move on. I'm
Okay.
sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I was busy reading too, so um, all right. So let's talk about ICE detention centers then.
Okay.
Um, so Critter was right. There is a detention center in California. It is Adelanto, I do believe is how you. I'm not even. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. Um, but Padilla went and did a tour. Also, the disability rights of California went and did a tour of it, and they both found that it was just apprehensible. It was horrible. They weren't getting treated like human beings. They weren't getting fair access to food and water and clean clothes. They were getting treated like animals. And that is absolutely just reprehensible. So,
Gotcha. Okay, so you have to inform me because I'm not at my computer and I don't want to keep leaving the live.
okay.
But out of all the people in those camps, how many are either grapists, M words, or things that have done things that are not with our laws, within our
Yeah.
laws?
Yeah, I got you.
On
5 to
top of them
7%.
being 5 to 7%. Okay, and then the other, I'm assuming the other 95 plus or 95 or a little bit less percent are just illegal immigrants.
So there is, let's see, 5%, 5 to 7% that are violent criminals. Then you have things like property vice, immigration, traffic, things like that that are very low percentages. But 73% of those people have absolutely no convictions at all, other than either
Being illegal
crossing.
immigrants.
Please don't. Let's say undocumented immigrants.
Okay,
Let's show a
undocumented.
little. Thank you. Being undocumented immigrants. Yeah, and that doesn't even necessarily mean crossing the border, illegally or whatever. But yes, being an undocumented immigrant.
Gotcha. Okay. So Quick question. Do you think that people who are in, do you think that, we'll use a hypothetical or not a non hypothetical, do you think the people that were involved in the 911 attacks, if they did not DIE, do you think they should have gotten a fair trial in America?
Yes.
Okay, great. I agree with you. Okay. So, do you think that the people in that camp or in any other camps deserve due process?
Yes.
Okay, so what is better in your eyes, sending them directly back to their country of origin, or putting them in a camp and waiting for them to get due process?
Why would we deport them immediately back when they are entitled due process first?
Exactly. Okay, so the campaign of ICE is not well ran. I can agree with you on that. And it is underfunded in certain ways as well. I can agree with you on that. They have overfunded certain parts and underfunded other ones. So, while yes, I agree they were being mistreated in certain ways, I believe it was Critter who said they were being raped. Nobody has provided me evidence of that. And then, while yes, I agree that they are being treated "quote unquote" unfairly, I think unfairly is subjective. If you ask a prisoner, "Are you being treated fairly?" they're probably going to say no because they don't like prison. So the guy who said, because you said this was an account from one of the people in the camp, he said they treat us like dogs and cats. Well, if you're in a jail, they treat you terribly too, right?
That was
You've done
backed
something
up
wrong.
by what they saw, though.
Yeah, it was backed up by what they saw. But like, if they brought the same person into Angola, because I'm from Louisiana, that's the worst prison that we have here. If they brought the same person in Angola, which I've toured parts of Angola, that's unsanitary. It's unlivable in my eyes. And to a public's eyes, somebody who lives with some sort of clean water and things of that nature, it is completely unlivable. But it's a prison. They did something wrong to deserve to be there. And to the fact of giving them due process, the only way we have at this moment is putting them there. So either we have two options at the moment, or three really. We can either send them back to the country, so we're not giving them due process. So that's unconstitutional, which you said you don't want that to happen, so we can't do that one. We can put them in this camp, which you don't want that to happen either. Or the third option is we can fund ICE better so they have better camps. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. It's still not going to be a happy place to be. It's overcrowded because we're deporting a large number of undocumented immigrants. Not as large, and I know it's not as large as Biden administration did, but it's still a large number. So out of the three options, okay, we won't go Biden, but out of the three options, what do you think is the best between morally and legally to fix this problem and solution? Do you think we should keep them in the camps? Do you think we should overfund the camps, or do you think we should deport them and not give them due process?
Well, I think you know that if you've been on Dean's Live, what a lot of us think would be right. I'm pretty sure if you brought up immigration with him, then he would say the same thing that I'm about to say.
I know his topic. I have never debated Dean or Parker. I did debate Parker about immigration, but
I thought you just said that you were up on his live.
I was. We didn't talk about immigration. We talked about the war in Iran, and we talked about abortion. But
okay, all right.
I do know his point of view, so I'm assuming I know it. But please go ahead and say it anyway. Okay,
so mass amnesty for those who have done nothing but become an undocumented immigrant. They actually have a bipartisan bill out right now that kind of does that. It's called the Dignity Act. It was brought up by a Republican. Oh my God, I'm fucking blanking. Oh my God. I can't remember who brought it up. Elvira Salazar. Elvira Salazar.
Yeah, I was about to
say. Maria Elvira Salazar. So she brought it up, and it basically helps with border security, requires a mandatory e-verify. And, you know, just to go through some of it, you know, a little bit, it was basically reforming the immigration process. You know, right now, there's just not enough judges. That's why things are taking 20 years and costing thousands and thousands of dollars. You disagree or don't?
I agree. 100% agree. We need a better, not only deportation, but importation process. 100%
exactly.
agree. The border is all types of messed up. And I believe that has happened between This administration and other administrations have both messed it up in more ways than we can count on all our fingers and toes, right? But I'm saying for the ones right now, what is the best course of action? Because that bill has to get passed. Then once it gets passed, it has to be implemented, which is going to cost us more money.
Okay,
So
I see what. Okay,
yeah. So right now, out of the three options, what do you think would be the best?
I would like, if they have to be sent somewhere, then obviously I would like them to be sent to a better. I don't want to say camp because I mean that's what it's a concentration camp pretty much right now.
In a way, yes,
Um,
100%.
but at the same time, why are we doing mass deportations and not focusing solely on those who have done horrible crimes?
Because of, I believe, the vice president of the ICE themselves talked about this in a press conference about 3 weeks ago. And she said that the reason that these camps, in a way, exist is because they think that if we implement them with the prison system, because that was their other option, was to put them in actual prisons, then we are taking away due process because then we're putting them under the line of people who are actual criminals in America that are legal here. So we're putting them under that line. But then if we make them skip that line, we're backing everything up. I do believe we need more judges. I can agree with you on that topic. So you're saying the best way is to make those living conditions they have better. Yes or no?
Yes, I would
Okay.
prefer it just be completely how we're handling the entire thing be done differently and that they're not treated like animals. They're not, fucking racially profiled and whatnot. But um, if I had to say, that, if they were to be incarcerated, then I would like the conditions improved. And that also means, Critter, you're right. That also means given legal representation, because as of right now, they are not allowed to speak to anyone.
Yes, totally, 100%. So we Republican senator, I believe it was Bill Cassidy, just said that we need to do that and tried to pass a bill. It went through Congress, got to the House of Representatives, and it got voted down by the Democratic Party. So it's the Democratic Party who didn't want that because of funding issues, because they want to change the big beautiful bill where EBT and Medicaid and things like that are higher when it comes to our financial status. So they said no, take the illegal immigrant money that we should use and that I'm saying we should use and you're saying we should use to make these conditions better and put it into EBT because they're legal citizens. That was what they said in the House of Representatives.
I want to get a source for that, but you can DM me that source if you'd like. I'd like to do
I
my
read
own
it.
research on that.
I saw it on a press conference, but I also read it on. You can write this down, but I also will DM you the source. It's
Okay.
constitutional.congress.gov. That the entire hearing was what do they call it whenever they have the little typewriter person who's typing all the words?
I know what you mean.
I
know what you mean.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but the entire transcribed or manuscript, whatever they call it, is all on that website, along with some of the key points and things of that nature. So it was turned down in the House of Representatives, and it was passed in Congress. So we've tried that; it did not work. I agree with you that needs to be changed, but right now they're not letting us change it. So that's a problem. Another thing I will say is about the racially profile. I do disagree with you on that.
So?
I believe that the vast majority, and I don't know any statistics on this, so I cannot fact check myself, but to my understanding, the vast majority of violent criminals are of some sort of ethnic background, being illegal or undocumented, we'll say. So being undocumented immigrant, the vast majority of violent criminals are of some sort of color other than white. So I'm okay with quote unquote racial profiling at the time.
Hold on. I got something lined up.
Like I said, I don't know 100% facts on that. I do think we need to deport everybody who is not a legal citizen. including people who are white and or either got here illegally or overstayed their visa. But at the time, I think the main focus is people who have done heinous crimes,
Okay.
and whatever race you are. But I'm pretty sure overall it's people of color, all people of color compared
Okay.
to all
All
people
right.
who are white.
Okay. If they're not racially profiling, why did the father in Texas get unalived?
No, they are racially profiling, and I agree with
Okay.
it. That's what I'm saying.
And how about the off-duty ICE agent that got handcuffed by his own friends because he was an immigrant? They said, "Oh no, but he was an ICE agent."
Well, they profiled him. They thought that he could be because of the dialect he was speaking, and it wasn't his friends. It was just people who were also ICE agents.
What?
It wasn't
Okay.
his direct
Okay.
friends,
What?
but
His coworkers. Okay, his fucking
his
coworkers.
coworkers that didn't have any knowledge of him, and then he was released 3 days later.
Okay. And you do know that undocumented immigrants are not of the highest crime rate in the United States, correct?
Yes, I do know that. Yes, it
Okay.
is African American people.
No, it is. I'm not doing by race. I'm not. No. No.
Okay, we don't have to go into that discussion, but okay, it's fine. I know they're not the highest percentage of people in America who commit crimes. Actually, they're way less because they don't want to be caught doing any crime,
That's
whether
not
it's
true,
whether
dude.
well no well undocumented immigrants have said this publicly. People who have gotten their visas and people who have gotten them revoked and have to go
Source.
back. They have said this.
Source. If you
There's a
make
Twitch
that
streamer.
claim, no.
Yeah.
If you make that claim, if you're saying they've spoken publicly, give me the source.
Yeah, okay. So, one off the top of my head, right? There's a very, very popular multi-millionaire Twitch streamer he's overstayed his
Social
visa.
media?
His name was he's a social media person. He's played video games for a living, but he overstayed his visa in America. He's not from America. He is from overseas, I believe. I want to say Singapore. But don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere in that region. But it's outside of America. He got a temporary visa. He overstayed it, and he said he didn't want to leave because he met a woman in the States that he really loved and enjoyed to spend time with, and they got engaged. And he was afraid to go over the speed limit. He was afraid to do
What?
anything that it might be even an inkling of the chance of him getting pulled over
Okay.
or profiled or anything of that nature. So you
Okay,
can comfortably
so-
assume that most immigrants have. I also work
So,
or have
okay,
worked with
so-
illegal immigrants who do the
Wait,
same.
wait. So you're
fine.
saying that undocumented immigrants do not commit more crimes because they don't want to get caught, correct?
I believe some of them are on the safer
So
side
they're not
of things.
committing crimes. Who
No, I didn't say
cares
all of them.
Why? Who gives a
I didn't-
shit why?
Well, it's a crime. It's a crime to be here if you do not have legal
The
papers.
misdemeanor.
And it's a misdemeanor. Is that still a crime?
It's a misdemeanor. Okay, jaywalking, running a traffic light. Should we, fucking
well, so-
lock them up in concentration camps? So you want to go to a concentration camp?
I think they should go to jail and get prosecuted. When you jaywalk, you have the chance of injuring not only yourself but somebody else who is jaywalking with you, or
my God. Dude,
hurting
you're
someone's personal
reaching.
vehicle.
You're
But listen.
reaching.
You said
No,
okay, running
you're
a red light,
reaching.
I've personally ran a red light. Okay, I personally ran a red light. I hit somebody. I didn't.
I don't
all my
care
fault
about
was
your
not-
personal
listen,
anecdote. I really don't.
Listen, no, but listen, it's
No
with
one cares
anybody.
I
about
don't
you
have to
elderly
listen.
boomers either. That's why when all you guys die, we're going back.
Hi, Noah. Goodbye, Noah.
So when it comes to running a red light, I hit somebody. They had a child in that car. If you run a red light, yes, it's a
Dude.
misdemeanor, but you can murder somebody
Oh my
in that
God.
car.
Oh my God.
So
I
because it's a
don't
misdemeanor
care.
doesn't.
I don't care.
So you don't care about the lives of innocent civilians.
I don't care about your personal anecdotes.
That's not a personal anecdote. That happens
You
daily.
just
People
said-
run red lights daily.
God.
That's just a person. That's
Was that
one
not
personal
your story?
experience.
Did you just say this
That's just-
happened to me?
That's one personal experience. But if you
That's
don't care about my end of it,
personal
it's fine.
anecdotes.
Okay. Question. If
Holy
you run a red
shit,
light,
dude.
but okay, if you run a red light,
Oh my God.
and you hit
Slay,
and you
I'm
hit
about
somebody,
done, dude. I'm about done.
is that good or bad?
I'm about
that good or
fucking
bad?
done.
Should you go to jail if you hit somebody after running a red light? Yes or no?
Holy
It's a simple
shit.
question.
You should have due process. And hey, guess what? The things that immigrants aren't getting.
They're getting due process. If they
No,
weren't
they're
getting due process, we would
not.
throw them back overseas.
Oh my god, dude. No, they're not. They're not
But they're
getting due
still in the
process.
states. But they're still in the states. They're waiting for a fair trial. They're awaiting a fair trial at the moment.
Hush, hush. Mute.
I'll mute.
They are not getting due process, and people who are claiming asylum are being denied. But because we can't send them back to their country because they've claimed asylum, we're sending them to other countries. We're sending them to Uganda and places like that where they have no place being. So we're doing that. We're sending people without due process. People who go to do the right thing, who show up in court, plainclothes ICE agents are there waiting for them. As soon as the judge says, nope, I'm not hearing this, then the ICE agents are right there. And yes, I have sources on that too. Fry guy, shut the fuck up.
Well, that's their job.
Oh my god, did you not hear what it was before?
No, but I'm asking
wasn't
you.
even listened to?
Yeah, but I understand. But you just said the judge said no, I'm not dealing with that to the undocumented immigrant, and then ICE agents picked them up. So is that what's
so
the
they're
ICE?
Not getting due process.
Okay, so can you name me one person who went to court, had a full trial?
I got you.
No. Let me finish the question. Went to court, had a full trial, and ICE agents still picked them up. Can you name me one?
No, I don't know court. I don't know.
Okay,
Can you?
You can't. No, I can't because it hasn't happened, right? Because they're getting due process.
No, they're not, dude.
The people who are quote unquote not getting due process. Well, let me finish. The people who are quote unquote listen. The people who are not getting due process. Well, you told me to listen, so I'm just
I'm a fucking mod. I can tell you whatever the fuck I want to tell you.
Okay, well that's you're implementing power, which is what you don't want.
Yep.
Like, you don't like Trump
doing.
Damn
straight.
But you don't like Trump doing it.
I'm implementing power for people who don't fucking listen.
Okay, well that's what Trump's doing in Iran.
And treat human beings like a fucking thing.
Well, that's what Trump's doing in Iran.
I'm done, man. You can have him. This guy isn't worth my fucking breath anymore.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. I just kind of wanted to you had mentioned something that when you first started talking to Laws, like nobody's saying like some about people claiming that they're being raped and there's no proof of it. Well, why are these underage undocumented girls, which the women are being kept separate from the men, why are they becoming pregnant all of a sudden when you have to take a urine test when you first get into that detention center, and they're not pregnant when they get in there, but all of a sudden they become fucking pregnant? How do you think that's happening?
Okay, so quick question. Can you first of all tell me anybody under the age of 17 that's happened to, and then also can you give me any evidence that an ICE agent or anybody who works there did that to them?
Oh my God! See, I knew you was going to ask that, but see, here's the thing, dude. How many can you release the name of a minor?
Yes.
No, you cannot.
You can. No. If they're convicted of a crime and being held, you can. If someone in a holding, okay, well, they're getting the same rights as Americans. So somebody who is going to jail, like these minors are, and is being held at that jail awaiting trial, their name can be released. Yes.
No, because actually it's a misdemeanor. Because see, here's the thing. No, 2 weeks ago, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, a boy and a girl, or actually they were both 16, and they had a manifesto, and they went and they unalived 5 family members of the girl. Now, here's the thing. He did all the pew-pewing. So, of course, they immediately charged him as an adult. His name got released. Her name, because they have not charged her as an adult yet, her name cannot be released to the public. So it's like that with every fucking thing. They cannot release a minor's name.
Okay, got you. I agree. So, give me evidence.
Because I cannot give you a name.
Exactly. All you have to do is
type it. All you have to do is type it into your fucking Google. Undocumented or underage undocumented immigrant girls becoming pregnant. And you're gonna find it that it's in there, and it's being told that it's fucking ICE fucking agents, the ICE agents that are in charge of them. They were being fucking hit with fucking misconduct. That's it, just misconduct.
Okay, and can you
I
give
mean, come
me
on,
a
dude.
reputable source that comes from, other than Google? Google is not a reputable source.
It's a search engine where you go find your source.
Well, you told me you had the information, so I'm asking you for your source. That's like that's what you did with me, and
Oh,
I answered.
Jesus Christ! I never asked you for any fucking source.
Or your panel did. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. You did not. I believe it was laws, and I gave her the source of the website. So because she had a question, I answered it respectfully. So I'm asking you. You have information. I'm asking you for a source, just like people have asked me and other people for sources. So what is your source directly?
Well, as soon as I get done talking to you, I will look that source up, and then I will get back to you and give you that fucking source, because I'm not
Okay.
going
Well,
to do it because I have vision issues. So I have to
that's
use
fine.
voice to text, and I'm not going to do that while I'm over the live over the
Totally
thing,
fine.
because it takes a little bit.
Totally fine. So
And
just whenever you can use your voice to text, just tell me the information, and I'll gladly listen to it. Thank you.
then one other thing that I just had to put out there, just because I was chomping at the bit over it, and this goes back to when you were talking to Queen. As far as those no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, you still get taxed out of your fucking check every goddamn week. All it is a tax deduction at the end of the year. It's worth up to $12,500. Now, when you file your taxes at the end of the fucking year, you have to make a choice. Do you want to claim that $12,500 fucking deduction on your overtime or your tips? Or do you want to go ahead and you want to claim your standard deduction? Because they're not letting you have both. You have to claim one or the other, because you can't have both of those deductions. And second of all, because that, like I had told you, I am an older person. I worked a lot in my fucking lifetime. That
Mm-hmm.
if you make under a certain amount of fucking money, which most people, if you're working for like an Applebee's or a motherfucking Waffle House or wherever the fuck you're working at, and a tip fucking waitress, you're not making a fucking shit ton of fucking money a year any goddamn way. So you're definitely making well within the rate. When you file your taxes at the end of the motherfucking year, there comes a fucking point to where it says if this line is larger than this line, your taxable income is zero. So, which means that everything you paid in, you already get the fuck back any goddamn way. So you already had no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on, and I will go find that source for you.
Okay, thank you. I do want to ask you a question. I know you're muted, but I want to ask a question. So you're telling me that before the big beautiful bill, there was no tax on overtime nor tips.
If you made under a certain amount of fucking money a year, like say you made, I don't know, like
Well, what number?
say
You said it's a certain number.
say you made like $20,000 a year,
Okay,
and
so
you had overtime in
you're in
that
the lowest.
20,000, and you had
You're in
some,
the
and
lowest
you
tax
and you,
bracket.
oh yeah, and
Okay.
you filed your taxes.
Uh-huh.
When you filed your taxes, when you got to that point to where there's a line in there, and it would say, if line X is larger than line Z, then your taxable income is zero, which means that everything you paid in, including the taxes that you paid in on your overtime tax or your tips that you had, you automatically were getting every single dime of that fucking back as your refund, because then everything you paid in becomes a fucking refund. And then they added this fucking earned income even for fucking single people, which that's nice because I never had that opportunity. I mean, any time I got earned income is because I was fucking married, but when I was single, we didn't have that. So kudos to you all that are single and you get to claim an earned income for a fucking single person. Way to go for you all, because you all get life so much fucking easier than I ever fucking did. But let me go find that source for you.
No problem. And I do want to say to everybody, again, when I talk about taxes, I cannot speak on W-2. I've worked one W-2 job ever, and I was 16. I own my own business. I run 1099, and it's a completely different tax system and tax bracket. So I don't have unlimited knowledge on taxes. My employees are also under 1099. So, and I don't know a lot about W-2, and I'm assuming he's talking about W-2 because $20,000 a year is a part-time job. Where you're not working 40 hours a week at minimum wage. So I don't know.
I want to tell you, since you brought up this social media person's story as evidence, since we're doing that, I don't usually do this, but there's a guy in my state, about 20, 30 minutes away from me. His daughter is pleading for help and has reached out to the news stations. News stations are interviewing her. I'm helping her get through to them. He has been a legal resident here since he was 15 years old. He's 55 now. He's a pastor. He was picked up by ICE. Nope, I don't know why, because he's a fucking legal resident. Doesn't have anything on him. He was held in the city, in our city, for a few days, and then shipped to Georgia, and then shipped to Texas. He's had a history of mini strokes since 2020, and it's well documented that he's had these mini strokes. His family got a call the other day, a few days ago, from a hospital in Texas saying that their father had suffered a major stroke and is now paralyzed on his left side. They were begging the detention center and the hospital to please let them see him. They kept saying no. They were finally allotted 1 hour with him. So they had to fly to Texas to go see him because they won't let him go. He was handcuffed to the bed and was, they said, the thinnest that they had ever seen him. They asked him what it was like, and he said the same thing that I've been telling you this entire time. They treated them like shit. He had no food and water. He didn't get his medications at all, and that's why he suffered a stroke. And then they're still looking to deport him, and they have no idea why. I'm doing everything I can to help her get the word out about this, because they're trying to get immigration lawyers and everything. Yeah, Riley, I got you. It was in Cary, by the way. But that's the kind of administration that we have right now. Is administration that they're okay with shit like that. They're okay with fucking handcuffing a partially paralyzed man who is too weak to even move his good side to a bed, won't allow him to see his family. And then when he keeps saying, I'm a legal resident, I'm a permanent green card holder, they won't let him go home to his family to recover from the big fucking stroke. Yes, thank you, Rage, her. She has reached out. And I fucking urge you to change your views on anything ICE related, because that's the fucking shit that we're dealing with right now. Is an innocent man getting taken, legal resident, for over half of his life, denied his medication, and now ICE is like, not our fault. So fuck that, dude. And if you support that, if you support ICE, fuck you too. Rafi,
Okay.
go ahead.
I do want to say that's totally your opinion. I feel sorry for his family and him going through that. I hate playing devil's advocate, but I don't know everything, so I cannot, with inconfidence,
Fuck you,
say that he
man.
isn't right.
Fuck you.
I can't. I don't. And then also about his medication, if it is certain types of medication, they're not legally allowed to give it to him, whether you're a doctor or an ICE
It's a
agent. You
fucking
can't.
stroke medication.
And some stroke medications you're not legally allowed to have.
Oh my God.
I have seizure medication.
Oh
I went
my
to rehab.
God.
I went to
Oh my
rehab
God,
for 3
dude.
Bring
months.
up that.
I couldn't take seizure medication.
Fucking hell.
So I couldn't. So, and I have seizures.
Again,
So
basic human fucking rights. As if you are on a fucking medication for something that serious and you are getting denied that? Don't give a shit about your bullshit reason.
it's
That's
not a
shit,
bullshit
dude.
reason.
That's
It's the
fucking
law.
shit.
I understand it's not
Even
perfect, but
in
I mean, I
jail, they're
went to
giving their
rehab.
fucking medicine, dude.
Not all medicines, no.
Oh my god.
No, they don't. I
I
went to
can't.
jail. I couldn't have
Rafi,
my seizure medicine.
Slay, whoever. I fucking can't.
And I'm not saying I don't feel for the family, but I mean, I couldn't have seizure medication in jail or in rehab, so I understand.
All right, I have some sources for you. Actually, my lovely wife was actually sticking them down in the fucking comments while we were talking, and we all missed it. But I'm just gonna give you a couple to go off of, and then after that, that's on you to do the rest of your homework on it. But it's like she
Gotcha.
came out here fucking listing me a whole fucking name of them. So like, if you was to type in, if you type in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you a couple places you can actually go look for it. If you type in undocumented immigrants being sexually assaulted, and if you can actually look it up from the FOIA, which is the Freedom of Information Act. You can also find it from the FFI, which is the Freedom for Immigrants, Homeland's fucking security, them fucking self. If you can go to those sources, you can actually look this stuff up, and you're gonna find information there that you. I mean, it's clear as fucking day that the shit's fucking happening, and I mean,
You said FFI
so
or FFFI?
FFI.
Okay, FFI.
Rage, what you got up there?
It's Freedom for Immigrants website, freedomforimmigrants.org. April 2017, you filed a federal complaint with the Office for Civil Rights and Civil Liberties within the Department of Homeland Security, detailing the prevalence of reports of SA assault and harassment in U.S. immigration detention facilities and lack of adequate government investigation into these reports. So this has been going on, but I'm assuming it's gotten a lot worse.
Yeah, so I'm reading on FFI. My computer is loading, but it says two high school students found guilty of raping a woman inside of the camp that was also an undocumented immigrant. This says June 6, 2026. So this was a little bit around 2 months ago that this happened. So it was and impregnated her. So this was a 17-year-old girl who got impregnated by another undocumented immigrant within a holding cell before they got separated by race. Or sorry, separated by gender. And he is now on trial as an adult, awaiting trial. So, and that was 2 months ago. So it doesn't say anything about ICE agents that I'm reading. I'm just reading great about grapes, but not. I haven't seen anything about ICE agents, which I'm still looking for. What was the other one? I'm reading at FFI. What was the other one?
Freedom of
Critter.
Information Act.
Yeah, but he said another website. I'm on FFI right now. The other one was it? That was what it's called. He said it was like FIFE or something like that. Critter.
I thought I was unmuted.
No,
Sorry,
you're
guys.
fine.
I'm gonna go back and I'll use. It was 19thnews.org. That's what Raf had come up with. The other thing is I just heard something, and I'm sorry, Slade, but I'm gonna land my plane very quick. I just heard something interesting just being said. Oh, so it was an ICE agent. Nobody said there was ICE agents. I said they were being graped. I didn't say it was the ICE agents. So, got you again, sir.
No, I didn't. I know you didn't say that. I'm saying I just don't see anything about ICE agents. I only see
Yeah, but let
about
me ask you
other
something. Does it
immigrants,
make a
which,
difference? Does it
well,
make
yeah,
a
it's
difference?
yeah,
No, it doesn't. No,
that
no, it
shows that
doesn't.
we
Thank
need
you.
to
No, it
deport
doesn't.
them
Thank you.
more.
No, it doesn't. Thank you.
If you're raping women inside of the camp, whenever you're about to be sent away, that shows that you're a violent criminal. That you need to be sent away even more. Supports ICE in total.
Thin fucking ice with me, dude. Thin fucking ice.
Well, that's what he just said. He just said he never said ICE agents, and he said that it was that he never said it was ICE agents. I said I couldn't find anything about ICE agents. He said that it was that there was people that were women who were getting raped, and I found a source from his source that
Do you
said
not see
it
what
was
Rage
illegal
has up there?
immigrants. No, I see that, and how many accounts of that? One. That's the only one. I mean, I don't see
I can
anything
find you
else.
more. That's just one
Yeah, it's
one
fine.
incident.
Find me more, and can I have names as well if you don't mind?
Right, but how many more do we need? I mean, isn't one enough to show that this shit's going on? I mean, if it happens once, then I mean, apparently it's going to happen more than once. I mean, just like if there was one grape reported so far this year, I mean, wouldn't you take into assumption that apparently there's more than one time this year that something like that would have happened? Just that's the only one that got reported. I mean,
You
we're
can.
adults. We live in the real world. We really understand that this shit happens on a daily basis. So I mean, just because it was only one account reported, isn't one too many?
One is too many, but in that logic, you want to do what to the people who are in the camps that are raping women? Because I just found an
That's
account. I just found an account that from a source that one of the people on your panel gave me that said another illegal immigrant or undocumented immigrant was raping people. Two people actually raped two people in a matter of 2 months ago. So what should we do with that? Should we not be deporting him then? Should we keep him here?
Dozens of federal immigration agents have been arrested and in some cases convicted of crimes related to sexual and gender-based violence, according to a group of anti-fascist researchers. The Pacific Anti-Fascist Collective, PAC, tracks federal immigration agents they claim are, quote, credibly accused, unquote, of abuse. There's a whole culture. These people that they're hiring at ICE, like there was just an ICE person who got in there was just freaking a Republican congressman got in trouble for freaking beating his wife and breaking his little girl's clavicle. Like, these people are not good people.
Well, with the same people, you're saying that the people who decided not to fund, and have given evidence for this already, the people who decided not to fund better conditions for these camps and more money for ICE so we can have better deportation system, which everyone agrees we need. The same people who are defunding that and saying no to funding that is
Because
Democratic people in House of Representatives.
listen, because we don't get a voice in how they allocate the money. We can give it to a department, but we can't say what they use it for. So we don't want them militarizing ICE against our citizens. Why would we fund money for that when we don't have a say in where it's going? If we had a say that the money that they would get would spruce up these places for people, then hell yeah, give them money to make it better for these people. But that's not where the money's going to. Tell me why ICE needs weapons, like serious weapons, like army grade weapons.
Because they're a part of the government. They're
Are
a
they
different.
military?
They're a type of military. Yes,
They're not the military.
they're not the military. They are a form of our military.
They do not need military grade weapons,
I
sir.
mean, if the people who are controlling ICE believe they do, then they do. That's up to them.
No. And you
The
believe
Secretary of
everything the
Defense.
government tells you?
Well, I mean, you do. So I do.
I
I didn't say
don't.
it was right. I didn't say it was right. I just said you do, but I don't see a problem with them using military grade weapons. I own military grade weapons. Nothing wrong with that.
There's a problem with you owning them not being in the military.
No, I own multiple military grade weapons, and I legally own them. What's the
No,
problem with
ICE,
that?
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is not part of the military.
I didn't say it was part of the military. I said it was not part of the military. It is a former, but it is not part of the police force. It is a former branch of government security, meaning
So
it is
here's
implemented in the
another
area.
source for you. ACLU. Interviews with 45 people at Fort Bliss reported physical and SA, medical neglect, and intimidation to self-deport. The facility still passed an ICE inspection. I wonder why.
Well, don't
You
they have third
literally
party
just
people
said
supporting them?
that they need military grade weapons because they're part of the military.
I didn't say they were part of the military. I'm recording all this. I can run it back if you need me to. But I didn't say they were part of the
Oh my
military. They
god.
are a government funded.
Thank you,
I don't mean
Rafi.
to move
Thank you,
you.
because
Run
I'm
it back.
fucking, I'm
Run
losing
it
it,
back.
dude.
Run it back. Run it back expeditiously, Republican. If you got the taping, run it back. Don't try to explain nothing. Run it back so we can double check to see if you're right about lawless. Otherwise, you explaining this is meaningless. Run it back.
All right, how can I share my screen to run? All right, I have to end the video. Hold up. Let me
You
end
do
my
whatever you got
Fathom.
to do, but you're the one who said you're the one who said you could run it back, so you got to figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
And you could record all you want. It's also going to be on YouTube tomorrow, so I don't know where you think you're going to put yours, but mine's going to go up there also. So I have nothing to hide on my videos.
Yeah, that's fine. Mine goes to YouTube and to some other places for my Discord and stuff. It says that the owner of the live needs to accept my request to put up images and or videos. You have a setting off. You need to change the setting where I'm allowed to put it up.
Well,
Well,
you're allowed to
actually,
like put up your own green screen.
What?
I'm sorry, I cut off the host. Go ahead, Slay. That's on me.
I was going to say, actually, you can't play videos on TikTok because I will get a violation for the video. So
Well,
if you just want to play the audio in the background, you can. But
it would be off my phone. I can't just play audio. I'd have to play the video because it's not like on my computer. I'm not at a computer. I'm using this all on my phone, so I have to play the video. But I don't want you to get in any trouble. But it's whatever.
All right, so if we can't run it back, then we're gonna drop that topic fully. We ain't gonna talk nothing about ICE and military or anything like that because there's no way to prove whether or not you said that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can just you'd cut all of the ice topping in general, or just completely cut the part of what I said about ice.
No. Just its relation to military. We're not gonna talk
Got you.
on ICE and its relation to military at all. We're just gonna drop that.
Got you. That's fine. But I don't see a problem with them having any type of weapon. That's up to the Secretary of Defense and whoever is in control of them. But also, I mean, is your solution? I guess I'll ask Rage against the Reg. I can't read your whole name, but Rage. I'll ask you,
Regime.
Regine. Sorry. Can I ask you? Are you implementing? You don't want ice in at all? You want to just cut ice completely?
No,
So you're okay with ice, you're just not okay with how it's ran.
absolutely.
Okay, so what would be your proposal to change ice? Would you change hires? Would you change camps? Things of that nature?
Everything. Freaking everything. What's the purpose of having ICE used to be a bunch of paper pushers back in the day. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know the origin of it.
Riley wanted to speak, and I'll wait because Riley and Rafi wanted to talk too.
I want to go back to the whole medicine thing because I didn't get to talk when you were talking about that. You realize that stroke medications are literally blood thinners like aspirin and things like that, right?
Yes, which certain stroke medications, certain medications in general, you're not allowed to have in certain facilities. I went to a holding cell. I was not allowed my seizure medicine, and
Okay,
for the
that's
3
my next
months.
question. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's my next question. Oh my god. I don't know how to be like not up in somebody's business for this.
You can
I
ask
am
me anything.
severely- I'm severely epileptic, okay? It is illegal for them not to give you your seizure medications. But just because the law was broken to keep you from having yours doesn't mean that it is legal for other people to not have their meds.
Right.
Okay, so I went to rehab and I was denied my seizure medication, and I had a lawyer talk to the people who own the rehab, and I said, if I don't get this, I'm leaving it, and I will break my deal with I don't with the court. I'll break my deal with the court and I'll go to jail instead, because in jail I might be allowed to have it. And they said they showed all this evidence that of policies that not only in rehabs, but not only in rehabs, but many other places where my specific type of medication could not be used because of some of the things that are in it and the chances of abuse, including a government funded rehab, which is where I was at. So
Are your
it is
seizures
illegal.
Are your seizures epileptic or non-epileptic?
My seizures are epileptic.
Okay, because non-epileptic seizures are treated with like anxiety medicine and stuff like that. But like, just because the law was broken and not allowing you to take your meds doesn't mean it's legal for other people to not have their meds.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The law wasn't broken. I went to court with a lawyer, and they brought up against a defense attorney, and they brought up everything that said that it was legal for them to deny my medication due to the things that have it, and I ended up having to take a different type of medication. Now, I do not know about his particular situation and what his stroke medication entails, so I'm not defending them in any way, but if it's anything like that situation, or if it has any certain things that they are allowed or not allowed to have, then it makes sense why he could not have it.
Wait, I just heard something. I'm so sorry, guys, but I just heard something. Did you just say that they gave you a different medication?
I ended up getting prescribed a different
So, in
medication.
other words, they gave you your seizure medication. You're full of shit.
No, I had to get prescribed.
They did. They just gave you a different.
Hey, Rage, put me in the big box.
I had to get prescribed a different medication, so they
Like,
denied mine. And
Yeah,
then
they
I
gave you the medication for your seizures.
There are
Hold on.
special situations
Critter.
like I can only have I'm on 4 different seizure medications, but I also have an implant in my head. But one of my seizure meds, I have to have the brand name version because the generics make me sick. But that is a very, very, very rare situation.
Yeah, I like I said, I do not know everything that my medication entails. That's why I was confused why I couldn't have it. I went to court for it, and through like Zoom meetings and stuff while I was in rehab, and they were still denying me it. And they ended up having to bring a completely different doctor in and prescribe it with 2 new types of medication that worked together. Those did not work, and then I was on a completely different medication that was allowed, and that ended up it was working for me after they did a CT. So yeah, that's just what my personal experience is. So I know there is some instances where you cannot have certain medications. So while I'm saying I can't prove that because I don't know that man or his situation or his medication, but if it's anything like my situation, I understand the facts.
You made it out like you were denied that in jail, though.
In jail, I was denied. In jail, if you were held under a 72-hour period, you are not allowed to have any medication at all, unless it is they brought up some things, like there's a couple of them, like ulcerative colitis, cancer, some bowel stuff. Like there's very few, but for the 2 days I was in jail, I'm in a holding cell, I was not allowed to have any medication.
I better not go to jail for a short period of time, then.
Yeah, you better not.
I will be unalived.
Probably. I mean, I was like, so my seizures are really weird, and my seizures also tend to make me have some other like reactions to things, and I have like hallucinogenic things that can happen. So it gets bad, and it got bad when I was in jail. But
okay. Somebody
I
else.
also I also do want to say I think certain things vary state by state. So California, or Texas, where he was being held, could be completely different than Louisiana, where I live.
All right, real quick. We're just gonna get Mikey introduced before we continue down the line. Mikey, can you give us age, state, who you voted for, please?
Yeah, I'm 66. I'm in Texas, and I voted for Harris. I just wanted to come up here and say real quick. I was in the comments and I was listening. Sir, you did say that they were part of the military.
Thank you for confirming that.
That's all I wanted to come over here and say. He did say they're part of the military.
Well, thank you, Mikey. High five.
All right.
Yeah, I have recording. I don't believe I said that.
I realize you have a recording, but I have 2 ears. I have 2 ears.
I understand that, and like I told somebody else, I could have misspoke, but I don't believe I did.
I know
but
you did.
I'm a human. I make mistakes, and I could have.
You can put that recording up your butt because I heard you.
Well, it's not respectful.
I'm claiming to be respectful. All right.
All right, you two.
You can drop me, but he's full of it.
Hey,
it's okay. It's okay if all these young women get raped. It's okay. You know, he showed me. Oh, there's one. No, there's more than one. They're making money. They're making money off of this. That's all. That's the reason why he wants 2,000 arrests every day, so he can make money off of it. That's it.
I want more.
That's it. He wants.
I want more.
Yeah, you can want more, but I'm just saying it's not.
I profit off of it. I'm okay with that.
He's not deporting them. He's just putting and detaining them. And they're not getting any representation. They're not getting any medication. They're not getting food. They're not getting water. It's okay. Just keep on doing it.
All right.
You have evidence of that.
Real quick, y'all. Hold on, real quick. Rafi was next, I believe. In the order. We do have an order. If you want to participate, please just throw a hand in the chat. We'll get you in line. We kind of diverted, but Rafi is next here.
Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of a list. I apologize to y'all because it's going to sound like I'm rambling. Firstly, rehabs and jails both have different jurisdictions in regards to the amount of restrictions they have for your legally prescribed medications. They both have the right to tell you no, depending on what kind of medication it is and depending on who they have to prescribe said medication. This is per NAMI, the National Association of Mental Illness. Unfortunately, when it comes to things like jails, specifically not prisons, many jails are not actually suited to give out medications regardless of if it is legally prescribed to you. Thusly, they can't give it to you because they don't have the right to get to hand out medications because they do not have the proper authority to do so and the proper employees to do so. Secondly, there was an absolute statement made earlier in regards to immigrants being raped in holding. Even if one happens or if two happens, it happens regardless. So we can't say that it doesn't happen. If it happens once, it happens. That assumption of it happening multiple times, right, that can be subjective, as Republican did say, and that's a fair enough thing to say. But if it has been proven once, then the absolute has been broken, and we can no longer say that absolute as in we can't say that they don't get raped. They do. Thirdly, there was an appeal to legality earlier, which is a fallacy in and of itself, as one, laws change and laws are subjective in their essence because they're made for the greater populace. So to say that it's the law and thusly it's right is to say that the law back in the 60s was against black people and thusly it was right. The laws back in the 20s were against women and thusly it was right, right? We don't do an appeal to legality as it's just a fallacy in and of itself. As I did, of course, have a thing about the military, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to touch that. Mikey really caught that one easy. And lastly, cheers. All right. Easy.
What?
I think
was that a what to the ending, or was that a what to the whole thing?
Oh, to the ending. I didn't hear. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I didn't.
I'm so sorry. I ended with cheers, y'all. That's what. Oh. Sorry. Sorry. That's on me. I'm smoking again.
I thought you were talking to somebody. Yeah. No, I mean, I have nothing to say. I agree with basically all your statements. I do want to ask though, Rafi. I want to ask what your because debates are they're just talking if you don't propose in a course of action. So I do want to ask Rafi or Rafi. I don't know exactly how to say your name because I can't read it all. But what would be your proposal to stop the way that immigrants are being treated in these camps and the way ICE agents are handling certain things?
Just obviously, just very clearly, this is all subjective. But as far as I go, transparency. There's a serious lack of transparency when it comes to really any government oversight in anything, let alone what's happening currently on the border. As we all know, there have been a lot of pushes in the government to put more people on the border, to have more eyes on the border, to have more transparency on the border, and all of them, whether it be left or right, very clearly get shut down, as both of them do use the border as a point of politicizing, you know what I'm saying, the sphere and allowing it to be a point of election status. So I think transparency is the biggest thing, and I also think that a takeaway from the government is another big thing. Having the government be the only oversight within that metric is unfair. There has to be different nonprofits and different publicly run organizations that also have oversight within those detention centers, which will allow, again, better transparency and the allowance for that information to be more public, and thusly the people within those detention centers will be held to a higher standard.
Right,
I
Rafi,
agree.
because they're not even letting in a lot of the Congress people who show up because they're supposed to be able to have oversight over these places. So senators, Congress people show up to see, and they're denied entry. And there's multiple news stories that show that. I mean, there's a lot of Democrats that have been going to these facilities, asking to be let in, asking to see the conditions. So we need more watchdogs for sure, and we just need Donald Trump to comply and actually let the people who have oversight have oversight.
I agree. I agree with Rafi and Rage's point completely. I think that both like I've heard both parties, congressmen, senators, governors, and their elected areas that have camps in their areas who want to oversee certain things, and they have not been let in on both sides of the parties, both Democratic and Republican. So I don't think it's fair, and I agree with Rafi and I agree with Rage completely. I feel like we've talked about ICE a lot. Do y'all want to talk about something else, or y'all want to continue on this topic, or what?
Real quick, because I'm curious. Which Republicans have showed up to detention facilities wanting to see it?
So Senator Bill Cassidy, what's his name? Fishback. I don't know his first name, but Fishback, the Florida guy who is trying to run right now for, I believe, not senator. He's running for something, but I think it's like James Fishback. But Fishback, those are just two that I can think of because I recently have heard about them. And there's other ones that I'm sure, but those are the first two that I can think of.
Okay.
But I also know like was one congresswoman recently who was a Democrat who got rejected access to and got put under arrest actually, which I think is crazy. Because she didn't like notify anybody if she was going there, which is like part her fault, but also you should know not to arrest a congresswoman with no grounds. But I get it.
Right. I've seen them get sprayed in the face with pepper spray.
Yeah, I don't know anything about spraying people, but I know she did get put in handcuffs and detained for at least an hour. Because I recently saw that. But I mean, if that happened to a Republican or a Democrat, man or woman, of anybody of stature in the government, I don't think that's right. But I do understand in a way why they would do that. Because they don't exactly know. Because maybe not everyone knows she is a congresswoman off the top of their head. So. Because I didn't even know she was until I saw that. So, yeah. But I agree with both of y'all completely. So, back to my question though: do y'all want to change topic, or do you want to continue on ICE and deportation? It's up to y'all.
I would like to just say real quick, before, because yes, I think moving on the subject would be better. We've had a very long talk about this. But I do want to say, as far as the detention centers and Congress people going to them, as I do sympathize with Republicans' point, as you know, you're working at this facility and you don't necessarily know who may be coming up with that documentation, right? And you have to be essentially on your toes, for lack of a better term, simply because of the nature of your job. However, it is written into our law that Congress members are allowed to go there without notice. They're legally allowed to just show up whenever they want and walk right in whenever they want without any prior notice or anything, as they already have the clearance to do so, and it's part of their job. Again, I do understand the idea of you don't necessarily know that that person's part of Congress, and thusly you're taking, precaution and action towards that to allow better safety. However, at the end of said detention, she then again should be allowed directly into the building, and there shouldn't have been an hour-long detention for that. It should have been a simple look up the person's ID, find out if it's a part of Congress, allow them in. It's not that long of a process to do. However, I do agree that if you are a congressperson showing up, you should at least show up with some kind of documentation. Otherwise, it does unfortunately subjectively seem like you're a random person showing up, and now you're leaving the investigation and that clearance to the other people to do rather than you doing it in the first place. With that, I land.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. Congress people are allowed to just go in on both sides, no matter where you are from or what side of the political party are on. You should just be allowed to be in. I do think there should be some sort of implication where there's some sort of notice to somebody, but I don't think it should be directly to the camp or the runner of the camp, because in that way they can make it seem better or change things or move things around to make it seem better to appeal. So I don't think they should get notified directly, but I think somebody should get notified, maybe a private party or something in that nature. But yeah, I agree.
So Slay, I think we're gonna pass this over to you as the host. Is there any other political topic you'd like to talk to Republican about in regards to MAGA?
What do you think about the war crimes that Trump is committing with Iran?
That's an interesting topic. I just talked about that earlier today. I think that I'll include the whole Iran war, my opinion on it. I don't think that we are doing anything wrong with the Iran war and doing what we're doing to them, but I do not think having any implication with Benjamin Netanyahu and his country. I do not think we should have any implication of them. I think it's honestly stupid by Trump, because Trump is an advocate to leave NATO, and now he's trying to align with another country, which makes no sense because we are larger than both the countries, not only by mass but by military power. So if we want to, and also it shows that that was a stupid decision, because they are the ones that broke the treaty that Donald Trump and his advisors negotiated with Iran to stop fighting, and then they decided to send a strike to a military base, and now we're back at war. So I do not think that we did a good job with being in comparison with Benjamin Netanyahu and his country, but I do believe that the things we were doing with the Iran war were okay. Yeah.
Okay, so just 2 days ago, we dropped a 2,000-pound bomb on a house in a neighborhood. We killed a 2-year-old. There's no military bases anywhere in the vicinity, so it can't be one of those things that, oops, we miscalculated. So you're saying we're not doing anything wrong, but shouldn't we be like going after their military sites and maybe places where their leaders could be? I mean, because when we start attacking just the civilians for no reason, that doesn't make us any better than they are. I mean, because that's what everybody was crying about. Oh, look how they treat their people. Okay, well, look what we're now doing to their fucking people. So how can we cry that we're better than you when our president is just having them do, because somebody has to, it starts at the top, and shit rolls downhill. So somebody's giving these orders to do these attacks and to send these missiles off, just like when we freaking threw a tomahawk into that fucking girls' school and killed all those little girls. I mean, to me, that's pure fucking war crimes. And
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can talk on that. So, I thought that was wrong completely, and I was on a Republican panel, and he educated me about some things. I did not agree with him because he was saying that was right in the way we should have done things. But there are 4 types of actions, affirmative actions you can do to during a war, and they have all been approved by NATO. There's 4. There's one where you can basically target both military and civilian places. There's one where you just target military bases. There's one where you just target civilian, and there's one where you do a treaty. We have targeted. So Trump has not openly said anything yet about that, but I would assume that we have. You can safely assume we have done a treaty. Our partnership screwed that up, so we've done option 1. We have targeted military bases. That hasn't necessarily helped us in many ways because they are still going. So that's option number 2. So the only 2 other options are targeting both military and civilian places, or targeting just civilian. So that BOMB was an implementation. It was dropped in a very highly populated area. And I'm not saying it was a great decision. I think it would have never happened if we were not in alliance with Israel. If it would have never happened if we were not in alliance with them, because we would have had the treaty with Iran and everything would have been okay right now. But that was the next line of war that you go to. So I understand why that is not great and it is not morally right. It is not technically a war crime. And that's approved by NATO. So
yeah. I have one more question, but I want to see, Rage, what you got on the screen?
We can't read it. You're unmuted, by the way, so.
It was unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, it wasn't working for some reason. So Ecuadorian prosecutor Alexandra Bravo and her sister were pew-pewed and unalived by a hitman on June 14th in Manta, Ecuador. Bravo was investigating alleged U.S. military strikes on 3 Ecuadorian fishing vessels and subsequent accounts of torture and detention of survivors by armed personnel on a U.S.-flagged ship. The allegations are 36 survivors stated that they were detained, blindfolded, starved, and abused for days by men in U.S. military uniforms aboard a patrol ship, while 8 other fishermen went missing. So, someone who's investigating war crimes was unalived in Ecuador.
So, but dude, I don't, that's from Google, so I don't know how trusted that source is because I don't see another source link.
Oh, you just look up this story. There were several news outlets that reported on it. It's just giving you an overview of what happened.
Yeah, I got you. It's AI overview from Gemini. I understand that. I just don't, I don't like to trust any first party thing because like Google, Safari, things like that. But
military.com.
Okay, military.com. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it just pulls it together.
Look, I understand how it works. But I can say this about that. So I don't know the implication that has with the war in Iran. I'm
just saying we're talking war crimes.
Well, no, we're talking war
don't
crimes.
Pivot.
But I'm not pivoting. We're talking Iran war crimes. If anything, what you're saying is pivoting. So
no, this is war crimes.
It's
he
actually
asked you about war crimes.
Well, he asked me about Iranian war crimes currently, right?
Okay, well now I'm asking you about these war crimes.
Okay, well that's pivoting, and it's also red herring.
No, because I'm a mod and I can change the topic of conversation if I wish.
That's fine. I'm just letting you know that's pivoting and red herring, and
what are you talking about?
Do you know what a red herring is?
Don't listen. Do not mansplain. Do not talk down to me.
I'm not mansplaining. I'm asking you.
No, you're being rude and condescending.
I'm not. I'm asking you.
So actually, you should probably reach into your pocket where you have those Republican manners and get some.
Well, I'm giving you nothing but respect. I'm asking you, do you know what it is? What a red herring is? So it's not a mansplaining. A mansplaining would be me doing this right now and explaining to you what red herring is and how all of it affects, but I'm not doing that. I asked you a question from person to person, nothing to do with your gender. So
I'm not
I'm gonna ask
attempting. I am
again.
not attempting to divert or distract you. I asked you. That was a legitimate question.
Okay, so your question is, what is my opinion on that being a war crime? Is that your question?
No, never mind. Go ahead, Slay.
I haven't heard an actual question. You just stated facts about something.
I don't feel like talking anymore.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. And here's my last question I have. They've already said that we're running out of our Tomahawks and our Patriots, so those are our big defense missiles. And I mean, we're actually not really accomplishing a whole fucking lot because I mean, Iran's pushing us out of the Middle East. They're pushing us out of Kuwait. They're pushing us out of Iraq. I mean, they're hitting our base in Jordan. They're kind of shoving us into Israel. Basically, is where they want us to go, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end up in Israel, and so we're running low on our big defense missiles because we've used so fucking many of them. So, what happens if we get attacked at home?
So
we don't
we're
have
running.
anything to defend ourselves.
So we do. So there's two types of quote unquote missiles. There is what you're talking about, which is called offensive missiles, and there's defensive missiles. So we are not legally, or we're not allowed, no matter who authorizes it, to use defensive missiles at all. That happened during World War I, whenever that was passed, because we used them and then it messed us up when we got attacked. So we are not allowed to use, not Trump, not Secretary of Defense, nobody is allowed to use those. So we still have defensive measures in place. And on the fact of why are we using so many, it's simply because we were in cahoots with Israel, which I have said I don't agree with, because we had a contract with Iran and they said we will not keep attacking you and we won't have any nuclear weapons. And it was so much more detailed, but then Israel decided to still attack them because realistically, Israel wants power over Iran because Iran has a lot of oil, and that's what Israel wants. And Israel is using America to get that. And I do not agree with the fact that we are in coherence with Israel at all, but that is why we're using them. But we will still have a line of defense if it comes to the fact that we use all their offensive missiles.
But do you think that's a smart idea to use up all our offensive missiles? I mean, think about it.
I don't think so. No.
Right, because like we promised Taiwan that we would be there for them if China was to attack. So China's loving this. Use all your fucking missiles up. Use them, because that way when they go in to go get Taiwan, it's just going to be a fucking like, it's like fucking handing the mouse to the cat. I mean,
well,
we ain't gonna have nothing to help them with for real. I mean,
I don't think so, because I think, so China largely gets a lot of large produce, I believe almost 50% or maybe more than 50% of its oil from Iran, right? So with that being said, if we defeat Iran, then they're on low scarcity and they need that oil more than they can give to China. And they don't have any official contracts with China yet. So China, if anything, is scared because if the U.S. military signs an agreement with them even today, but if they continue moving this along and stretching it out for weeks, if not months, then they will be weaker and need the money for the oil and be less inclined to give it to China. So I think if anything, China is more scared. And I mean, again, I don't know a lot about Chinese politics. I only know the implication we've had with U.S. and China, but I would say that China is probably more scared because the more time this war goes on, the less amount of oil they get, so the less amount of things they have to attack Taiwan overall.
I mean, I'm not sure about that because China's actually giving weapons to Iran, so China's kind of, they're like, all right, we're going to help you out.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
That if they were scared, right, you would think that if they were kind of scared that they would be trying to figure out how to put a, end to it. If we're going upon your thought of thinking, wouldn't you think that China would be like, hey, look, we need to find a diplomatic way to deal with this, but I mean, it seems to me like China is like, hey, we're gonna give you some more ammunition to fight these motherfuckers with, and keep pushing, and it's like China's being the cheerleader, like, hey, yep, and then of course Russia, you got motherfucking Trump thinking that Putin's his best buddy, but they just landed a doomsday plane in motherfucking Tehran, so that thing can withstand a nuclear blast. So they're thinking. Well, I'm thinking that China and Russia are thinking that this is going to be. I'm thinking that they're thinking this is going to be the one that's going to lead into what's going to be. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think this is the beginning of what's going to go into World War III. If we cannot stop Trump, I mean, we're going to have to stop Trump, or I think that's what this is going to head into. And if that happens, I mean, I don't
It
care
already
who
happens,
the
bro.
president
Like,
is. I mean,
I do want to say I don't think it's that we need to stop Trump as much as we need to stop Benjamin Netanyahu. I think Benjamin Netanyahu is a bigger problem than not only Trump, but bigger problem than Iran and bigger problem than China and Russia and North Korea as well, because Benjamin Netanyahu wants power and he is control of a country that has ability to gain power because of their geographical stance, but does not have the capital or the alliance to build power. But I think if it got to the point of World War II, and if even the worst case scenario, let's say North Korea, China, and Russia all got together and say we're going to do all these things and start World War III because other countries are weak, I believe NATO, the fact that we're still in NATO, which again, Trump didn't want, but I don't understand that. But the fact that we're still in NATO, I believe NATO has larger power than those three countries combined. And if it comes to nuclear warfare, I believe that NATO has more nuclear power and positioning than those three major countries. So I don't think it's going to be a real hard world war to win for America, but I think it would be terrible for not only America but just the world and as we know it. But I don't think it's the start of the war. I think it is stupid the way we're proceeding because we're in coherence with Israel. If we were never in coherence with Israel, we would have had the treaty. Everything would have been okay. But it's how it is. I can't change the past. I just hope that we decide to, or Iran decides to sign an agreement and Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't blow his fucking lid again. And we can have everything to be back to how it was a couple of months or a couple of weeks ago.
all right. I've asked all my questions. Anybody got anything more?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I don't know if you got somebody else, go ahead.
Yeah, just let me introduce Hassan real quick, Mikey, and then you can go. Hassan, can you give us age, date, who you voted for?
age 31, state Texas, and who I voted for, nobody in the last election.
Okay, when Mikey is done, the host will speak with you. Go ahead, Mikey.
Okay, first of all, he was talking about, you were talking about war crimes, and he was saying that you can do military and civilian together. Those are when they have military in schools and in hospitals and stuff like that, like in Hamas. So that school was not in a military zone. Now you can hit them when they're combined, but if there's no military there, that's still a civilian, and that is a war crime. Second of all, he says he wants to get Israel away from the United States, but we just signed an agreement with Israel that we share our intellects with them militarily. So that's not going away from Israel. We're still with Israel. And yes, most of the stuff is Benjamin Netanyahu, because he doesn't want to go to court, and he's hoping that this will help him in his election. That's all he's doing it for. That's all I needed to say.
Yeah. I can say so. I agree with you, the Benjamin Netanyahu part totally. And then with the second part you said was about us signing a deal. And like I said, while yes, I support Trump, I do not support everything Trump has done. I don't support everything that every Congress or House Representatives or legislative or executive branch or any branch, I cannot support them fully. Everyone's going to have different preferences and views. So that's one of the things I don't support with him. And then along to the first topic, you can look it up. So NATO has approved for the 4 types of military response, and one of those is civilian drop. So in high populous areas, to drop bombs that are non-nuclear, and it is not considered a war crime. Now, if you just randomly start doing it, yes, it's a war crime, but because we are already in a war, it is not. And we're not dropping anything that is atomic or nuclear. So it is not technically a war crime under NATO standards, and it is a type of the type of affirmative action that we are allowed to do.
You just said randomly hitting civilians.
Not randomly, high populous areas.
Right.
And that where the 2,000 pound bomb was dropped, it was one of the largest populated areas in all of Iran.
But I'm talking about the school. That's what I'm talking about. Now that was intentional because the children that were there were part of the military leaders' children.
Yes, I'm not in the government, so I can't not tell you 100%, but I'm assuming because NATO has not said anything negative with that action, I'm assuming it's within guidelines of being in NATO, whether it's high populace or whether because those are the kids of military members, not too sure, but because there has been...
Sorry, I think you mean the United Nations, not NATO.
Hold on. No.
I'm sorry. Because I'm just trying to understand. I think
What is that?
That was Amber Alert.
Oh shoot!
I heard that today for a tornado. That's why I was like, tornado.
Oh yeah, both of them are terrible.
What I was saying as far as that, when the after the midterms and we have the judiciary oversight, then we're going to find out about these war crimes. Because right now they're not doing anything because the Republicans aren't going to do it. But once we take over, then we're going to be finding those war crimes.
Well, we'll know more information. But like I said, to my knowledge, I don't believe that they're classified as war crimes under.
When you bomb a school, I'm sorry, that's a war crime.
Well, I'm sure they had real reason to do that. And they haven't received any lashback from other countries of the alliances that they're in between, like what Hassan said, United Nations and NATO. They have not directly received any lashback that we know of. So it is not technically classified as a war crime. Otherwise, they would be cut off from NATO, or they would have a hearing with NATO. So technically, it's not classified. Maybe your definition of war crime is different than NATO's, but it is not technically classified yet that we know of. So I can't say that it's a war crime.
The reason why they're not classifying it is because nobody's accusing them of anything. So when it changes hands, they're going to start accusing them. Then they're going to listen to it, and then it's going to happen.
Possibly. I can't see in the future, so I don't really know. But, I mean, you could be completely right. We will see during midterms, I guess.
Okay, I'm done.
please add to that real quick.
Yeah, Harrison, or Hassan, sorry. I do want to ask real quick. Hassan. I know you said you did not vote in 2024. Can you just tell me, like, what side of the political statue you are?
Hold on. Is this your live?
No, but I'm the only Republican that I know of so far. So I just want to see how I'm going to be.
I don't fucking care what you want to see. This is Slay's live.
Okay, well, Slay.
Dear God, dude.
I was just asking a simple question. But okay, I'm sorry if that offended you.
Alrighty, so that's kind of the first question I was going to ask. So, why didn't you vote?
out of the country when the voting was happening at that time. That's why.
Who would you have voted for if you could have?
To be honest, I didn't have so because I'm originally from Palestine and I was born and raised in the Middle East, but I am an American citizen, right? I really, from my perspective, the way I see it, um, I wouldn't have voted for any of them, even if I was here, right? And it's because I believe that the way that the foreign policy will be handled is not going to change either. If like they both have the same vision, the same agenda when it comes to the foreign policy, and that is why I don't believe that they are competent to handle the responsibility of being the police of the world. Those two individuals, in my opinion.
So, God, it's kind of hard. Jeez. So, God, knowing what kind of person Donald Trump is and how he is, I mean, you just couldn't like say, I don't really care for either one, but I think I'm gonna vote for the one that I think's gonna be better for the country.
They voted against Trump, but not because I'm for Kamala, because I'm against Trump. And that's, I think that is actually the core essence of why it's become a problematic thing, not a healthy competition anymore. There's no, you know how after a good like boxing fight, both the competitors, they shake hands and they have this good sportsmanship, because at the end of the day, the person who deserved it the most won, and he earned it, right? But now it's becoming more of a, it's either us or them, no matter what the end result will be. Who actually cares more and wants the best interest for the Americans? It's like we just want to win because we're blue and they're red, and blue must win, for example. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not necessarily how it is. I mean, like, I'm I can only speak for myself, and I consider myself more of a center Democrat. I I vote blue, yes, but I also look for what policies. So, like, if there would have been a Republican candidate that was going to do things that was going to be nothing but good shit for the country, I mean, I could see myself possibly, but there's never been that. There's never been a Republican candidate that wants to do anything to help the working class people. It's always been the Democrat, and it's not just hey, I lean more blue than I do red, so I have to vote blue. I mean, right now it is. If I could be that independent person at the moment, I mean, I would have no choice but to vote blue because of what's going on with our country at this moment. That it's this is ridiculous. So I mean, right now it is. No matter what, I would vote fucking blue all the way down the fucking ticket, just because of the fact that what's going on now is just unfucking called for. We've never seen this. We've never been tested like this in our fucking country's whole fucking existence. I mean, I want to say it was
That's fair.
Thomas Jefferson that said that after they've came up with our Constitution, and said that I give you a republic if you can hold on to it. And this is at this fucking point in 2026, we're at that fucking point to where this country's being tested like it's never been tested fucking before, and I'm scared for our fucking Constitution. I really am at this point, because we have a man that over this fucking weekend has tweeted Trump 2028, fucking image of him fucking saying that he ages in fucking reverse, showing that we're doing all these gold fucking statues we're paying for. we're gonna pay for this goddamn fucking arch. We're wasting fucking tons and tons of fucking money on the goddamn reflecting pool, which in all actuality is gonna get filled back up again and it's gonna turn green again. Just because that's just fucking the way it is. I mean, we're fucking doing all these renovations on the fucking White House. So we're spending all this fucking money and not counting a war that we shouldn't be in, but we'll let that go off to the fucking side. But all this fucking bullshit money that we're spending, and on these goddamn new battleships that he's ordered
If I may
fucking
just
14 of these motherfuckers. So we can spend, right, we can spend, I'm going to give you a second to talk in a minute. We can spend all this bullshit taxpayer money without us having any fucking say over it. But we cannot help. We can't fund fucking Medicaid. We can't fund Medicare. We can't fucking fund SNAP. I mean, fuck, we could take a chunk of that and stick it in fucking Social Security and we could make sure that it stays solvent a lot fucking longer. And we can't do any of that, but we can raise our fucking... We can raise our national fucking debt to $40 fucking trillion, and we're so fucking insolvent that, I mean, our country's on the fucking verge of fucking bankruptcy. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't fucking get it. And I'm gonna let you speak, and then I'm gonna pass it on to whoever would be next in line that would like to speak with you.
I don't know if there was a line.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was unmuted. But you wanted me to speak, Slave, right?
Yes, because you were trying to speak while I was, and I was like,
Yeah.
I would give you a chance after I got done.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I think you raise a very important concern for the American citizen. The fact that America, the number one country with the number one economy and the dominant currency, is on the verge of bankruptcy. Yes, that is why? You must ask why. And also, you mentioned Iran and the conflict of Iran when it comes to spending, right? And the taxpayers, where is the taxpayers' money going? And you said, well, we're not even going to talk about Iran. Let's put it on the side. Not even including that. It's insane, the fact that, we can't. But actually, we must talk about that conflict, the Iranian conflict, for one reason, because this is not America's first rodeo. America spent, look, as a statistic, America on average spends 25 times more than the whole world per year on its military, right? And when you spend this much, when you invest this much, you must expect a return on investment, right? Especially when you have such an extensive history of using that investment, like 20 years in Afghanistan, 10 years in Iraq, and then you have Vietnam. You're the only country that dropped 3 nukes. You're the only country who has 800 bases around the world. And now Iran, a country like Iran, not Russia, not China, not North Korea, a country like Iran is challenging you, even though they were under sanctions for 40 years, even though they're under a dictatorship, as you claim. So what if Iran was Russia? Or what if it was China, right? That means that all the money you invested on your military complex is a failed investment, in my opinion. I'm so sorry for monologuing, guys.
I don't want to cut anybody off, but I do have to go. I have to go pick my daughter up. I hope y'all have a good night. Slay. Great live. And y'all have a good one.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
I've got nothing. I've got nothing.
What does a return on investment look like from the military?
That's a good question, actually. To be honest, it's not so it's being the most powerful military in the world. I think, in my opinion, the return on investment should be the lesser casualties from both sides, right? More precision, more like, for example, 20 years in Afghanistan, trillions of dollars, thousands of American troops unalived, millions of Afghanis unalived, and Taliban is in control of Afghanistan today. So there is no return on investment in that venture, right? Like, I can't tell you what's a good result of a war, but I can tell you what's a bad result of a war when you spend that much more than anybody else, right?
The return is when
That was a good
the return is when the defense people make all that money. That's the return. Defense contractors. That's where all the return is.
Yeah. So, for example, like, they went into Iraq because they said they were weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, but they sold us the narrative. So return on investment in that venture was
You're breaking up, Hassan.
there were no WMDs, and even Trump ran his campaign in 2016. No, we went to there was and then
You're breaking up a
I'm
little
sorry,
bit there.
my connection. Me now? Yeah, all right, my bad. Sorry, I don't even know where I
Okay.
cut off, but yeah. Anyway.
So, sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a while. So, why didn't you vote again?
he was out of state.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was out of the country,
Mhm.
but
Absentee
look,
ballots.
and that wasn't the main reason, to be honest with you. I think none of the candidates that were running deserved my vote, to be honest, and I have the right for that. Like, if I don't think that that person is competent enough to handle that burden and that responsibility of being the American president, why should I go vote? I don't think either of them was deserving.
Well, you do have that right, but I also have the right to tell you I think you're FOS for thinking that Kamala Harris was anything but competent. So, I reserve that right as well.
But and that's fair, and also and that's what I'm telling you. Like, for example, now we think that Trump is what's wrong with America. Like, right now, today,
You got that non-voter
why
Wi-Fi
America's
going
bad.
on.
That's the majority of American citizens. They think that, but also the majority of
He's telling us a lot. Keep talking.
Hassan, you got that non-voter Wi-Fi. It's almost as bad as Trump Mobile.
I'm sorry. Is it still breaking up?
Yeah.
It's hard to agree. We can't hear you. It's hard to agree with you.
Rage, I am so happy you're getting as slap happy as I am. When he also said when he also said something about the Taliban, I started going, "Come, Mr. Taliban, telling me banana."
Oh, it's about that time. Riley. Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, it is hard to have a debate when... Oh, here we go.
Is someone not lubricated enough on this panel, by the way?
Daylight come on, we want go home. Day, busy day, busy day.
Fucking God.
Oh.
Needed that laugh today.
Well, Slay, where do you want to take it from here?
I'm gonna ask something to non-voter, or what are your plans for the midterms or the 2028 election? Are you gonna vote for anybody, or you're just gonna sit down and whine again?
So, is there any other person who didn't vote, or is it just me? So I can answer.
Just you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So just the fact that I didn't vote the last presidential election does not mean that I'm a non-voter and I never voted or I will never vote. I am definitely going to vote in the midterms and in the next election. And I have a metric of voting. Now I know and I understand how to vote. So now I'm looking at who is supporting and who is funding those people that are running for the election. And my metric, for example, one of my metrics, anybody that is not receiving APAC money is a candidate that is deserving for that seat.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. That's exactly the answer we love.
Do you know who are you gonna vote for this midterms? Do you have any names?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
He just can't talk.
Do you have anybody in mind that you're gonna vote for the midterms?
Well, it would be whoever's in his state that didn't take APAC money.
I know, but I'm just curious. Do he has an idea who's gonna vote for that election?
He said anybody who takes APAC money is who he's going to vote for.
No, he said he does not want to vote for anybody that takes that money. That's what he said.
I don't know. That's not what I heard, but go ahead.
Wait, Hassan, thumbs up in the chat. Are you for thumbs up or down? Are you for or against APAC money? Against. Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm not really sure about this purity politics thing. Like, I feel like that we should work on harm reduction first and then worry about purity politics.
I see that to some extent, but then I'm like, go big or go home, baby. Now's our chance, right? Like, if we're gonna, the one good thing about Trump being in office is that he's shown where all the cracks are forming, right? And like, we have a chance to actually get rid of corporate seat holders.
And it's not that I don't agree with you, but like, you know, I feel like that it's imperative for the well-being of millions of people in this country that you know, Republicans get knocked down a peg or two, because like, you know, there's people they're literally saying that next year, if they win the midterms, that they're going to be cutting Social Security by up to $500 per person. They're going to cut Medicaid and Medicare by even more.
Right.
So, I mean, you know,
I
right.
feel like that it's imperative for the survival of some Americans to take away a little bit of MAGA Republican power.
All right.
Do I need to put out some of my campaign promises?
I'd vote for you, Sly.
Project 2028.
Oh yeah, my Project 2028. I think everybody would be on board except for the fucking right. But
My Project
damn it.
2028 is simple. Every single MAGA Republican gets deported to E Island.
Yes.
My platform is free lubrication for everybody.
Hell yeah!
Go ahead, Slay. Go ahead, Slay.
See, I promised release of the Epstein files, and we're going to convict every single perpetrator in there. We're putting their names out on blast.
Yo.
I want fucking universal fucking health care.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fully fund every damn social fucking net that we need to fucking fund.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cutting our military budget by half. I'm increasing the fucking military benefits to our freaking heroes that are here at home that need the fucking help.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give more funding to mental health so that way people that are having issues, they can get those issues freaking resolved with no problems. They can have people to talk to.
May I ask a question? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, sorry, I just want to ask a question. This is to the panel. Anybody who would like to answer. How do you guys feel if I tell you, like, do you blame an ex-MAGA supporter who did vote for Donald Trump in 2020, or in the last election, but he regretted and now he is anti-MAGA, anti-Trump. He is even reconsidering being a Republican. Like, for example, like Tucker Carlson, right? I don't know what his intention is, but the fact that he went and voted for Trump and then realized he made the wrong decision and he made a statement about it publicly, and now he's trying to right that wrong. Is he to blame for practicing his right to vote, and then because Trump lied to America, now he's trying to right that wrong? I mean, that's why I think that we're putting more blame on Americans who voted for Trump rather than putting the blame on Trump and his administration.
See, sorry, it's not my turn.
Do you want to answer, Slay?
Sure. Because I've actually come across this already, and if you sincerely regret your vote, I'm not going to beat that dead horse. There's no reason to beat that dead horse any further because you can't go back and change what you did. Now, if you're going to join us and do what's right to fix the mistake that was made, I welcome you, and I hope that you join my fight. I mean, that's just the kind of person I am, and I had several people that did vote for Trump, and they were trying to fight the good fight, and I just don't. I'm not gonna sit there and beat up on you because you made a mistake. But yeah, if you voted for him and then you regret your vote and this isn't what you signed up for, and you're willing to help us fight the good fight, I welcome you to come into our. I welcome you to us, because
I think
if we
that's a
reject
rare.
them, they're just going to go back.
Rare. No. Sorry.
If we reject them, they're just going to go back to the MAGA side, and we've lost another vote. But we need every vote we can get, so that's where I stand with it.
Yeah, I think I give a normal layperson more grace than I would someone like Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson is in the spotlight. Tucker Carlson has always hated Donald Trump on the DL because leaked text messages will show you that. Ever since he worked at Fox News, he hated Donald Trump, and he knows what was right from the jump. So I definitely give the layperson more grace regarding ignorance than I would somebody like Tucker Carlson. If he's turncoating now, it's because his algorithm and his views are indicating that that's what he needs to do.
By the way, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Like, I'm not trying to boast Tucker, or I'm not agreeing with Tucker Carlson or trying to say that I stand with what his statements are. But I was just giving an example of somebody that is a public public. What's
Oh, I know. I gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I mean, they still did a whole bunch of harmful shit. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene still did a ton of harmful stuff. So, I mean, she should definitely, both those people, if they're truly sorry, they need to show action through it and work to reverse the damage that these people have done.
But isn't using their platform to criticize and to like what's the word, constructively criticize the American government, and to use that platform, that is, by the way, one of the biggest platforms in America right now when we talk about independent journalism and then podcasts. I mean, they're using it to raise awareness.
But that's not enough when they're part of the problem of how it got so big to begin with.
That's fair. Yeah. So they share a responsibility of fixing
Right.
it.
We have Critter. I think Twisted may have wanted to speak. We got Critter, Twisted, and McGriddle.
Okay. Real quick, my answer would be I don't care if you're sorry or not. If I want to see if you're going to be voting blue from now on, but I'll be completely honest. Once you show me who you are the first time, I believe it, and I'm not going to trust you unless I see you really trying to make a difference. So it's going to take a whole lot for somebody to heal this wound. So my answer, plain and simply, in landing my plane, no. I'm sorry. Republicans can go take a leap in that pool that Trump destroyed.
But the reason I asked that question is because it's crazy how now we feel that it is easier to hold the American citizen who practiced his right to vote as accountable to what a president have done in his 4 years than it is to hold the president accountable.
Yes, because you got blackmail on everybody. Go ahead, Twisted. Sorry.
So I look at that completely different than you do, Hassan, because I hold accountable everybody that voted for this, and they did vote for this. All of these things are things that he ran on. He
Voting is not a
hold
crime.
on. Why is it I can never speak? You know what? Never mind. Fuck it.
No, go ahead. Hassan, let him talk. Go ahead,
No, I'm
Twisted. I
good.
want to hear.
I apologize, man. For real, I'm sorry.
Trump, the biggest thing that Trump technically lied about was wars. He said he would end wars. He wasn't going to start them. He did not end any wars, and he continued to sit here and start conflicts and a war. But everything else, these people have loved what he's done. They are racist. They are hateful. They are bigoted. They do not. All they care about is brown people bad, and to get them out. Literally, how it is, and they can spin it any way that they want. They want mass deportations. That's what they want. They want the left to suffer. That's what they want. MAGA Republicans have turned into it. They don't care if it hurts them as long as it hurts us. And so, yes, I hold them accountable. I hold Donald Trump accountable. He has been a piece of shit since the early 70s. Anybody that was fooled by him is a fool. Period. That's the way that it is. If you think that if you think anything he did was good, even if you regret your vote, at the end of the day, you voted for him because you saw something in him that you agree with. You saw hatred. You saw just hurt the left. You saw racism. You saw PDF. You saw rapist. Something in him you saw it was like a mirror for you, and that is why you continued to support him for so many years. So I hold Donald Trump accountable for the atrocious, abhorrent things that he's done, but I hold MAGA just as accountable. And as far as somebody that regrets their vote, um, I will as long as I see you putting in the work, I can sit here and say, okay, good. But recent experiences have taught me I'll never trust them
Right.
because people that I thought had completely changed, turns out they hadn't, and
Right.
they were back in with MAGA, talking shit about the left and talking shit about Kamala Harris and letting everything go that had to do with Donald Trump. So I don't trust them.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Twisted.
Okay, can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm gonna give you an analogy. It's like if a scammer comes and hustles, like if a scammer comes and he gives you this, tries to convince you that there's this thing we should invest in, blah blah blah, and ends up taking like $100,000 from you and running away, right? And then you contact the police and told them this and that happened. This guy came and told me that we're gonna make a bunch of money and he's gonna take care of me. So I give him $100,000 and then he stole them and ran away, right? This is exactly what's happening in America. A president running and telling the American people that he's gonna do this and that. The American people trusted him and voted for him, which is a right that they can practice. So they did not commit anything that is a crime or that is wrong. He went and he took that trust and then he betrayed every American, and that betrayal caused the unalivement of 17 soldiers in Iran, caused the American taxpayer trillions of dollars. So do we blame the voter or do we blame the representative that is representing the country and who lied to the country? Because at the end of the day, the Republican and the Democrat was hurt by Trump's actions in his time as president. You know what I'm saying? Like both of them suffered. But
Okay.
who suffers the most is the guy who regrets his decision when he realized that he made the wrong one.
Okay. So here's the thing. Again, these are things that he said he was going to do. He said he was going to cut Medicare. He tried to say we're not going to do that, but then behind the scenes you heard they're going to cut these things. You heard they're going to do all of this. He wanted to do this whole thing with Doge. He did this thing with Doge and let a bunch of 19-year-olds fuck up the VA worse than it was. He did all of these things, and lots of these people still say, "Oh, it's not affecting me, and I'm a veteran." Well, it's affecting all the veterans that are actually paying attention and actually need their benefits. People like my wife, people like my brother, Mr. Ray, on this app. You know, people like Keith, aka Asmar, on this app. People like Wayne on this app. People like so many other veterans that I know that are on this app. People like Jolly Good Ginger. It is affecting all of these people. So to say that it's not affecting MAGA, unless they have some special kind of MAGA discount card, it's affecting them. And we knew he said that he was going to go after Iran. He said it. He said that he was going to go after Iran because Iran could not have a nuclear boom boom, even though he's the reason that they got to 60%. He's the reason because he pulled us out of the JCPOA because it had Obama's name on it. He couldn't stand that. Bigotry and hatred is why Donald Trump ever became president, because these people could not handle the fact that a black man was president. That is why. It was hatred and bigotry. That is why he became president. Because the Tea Party morphed into MAGA, and MAGA and the Republican Party fused together. You have very few real old school Republicans, and I don't like Republicans very much, to be honest with you, but you have very few old school Republicans that have been conservative Republicans their whole life, and they're like, fuck no, I'm not voting for him. So I hold them accountable for their actions.
But how?
It's their legal right to vote, but it's my legal right not to trust them because they don't care about other people.
But accountability, when you say you're going to hold them accountable by law, you're going to hold them accountable. How are you going to practice that accountability? How are you going to make them pay the consequences of their actions? You can't.
Because they don't get to they do not get to be in my space.
I'm not asking why.
I don't care about legality. I'm talking about do I associate with these people? No, I don't, because I don't trust them, because they are bad for this country. They are no better than the Confederates. They are the Confederacy 2.0. They want to take away black people's rights, brown people's rights, and women's rights. I hear it daily. No, they do not get to be in my space and associate with me, and they will never sit at my table. That is my legal right.
Right. We might not be able to prosecute them under the law, but we can make their lives hell out in public. You get me a waiter or a waitress, I'm going to ask for the one that's progressive. I'm going to ask every person who they voted for. If they tell me Trump, I'm going to freak out about it in public. You can make their lives miserable. Go ahead.
But how's that going to benefit anybody?
Hold on one second. I'm gonna say this to you. I'm a disabled person, and if you remember back in 2016 or 2017, during his rallies, he mocked a disabled reporter. He mocked him. Didn't even fucking apologize for it.
Right.
Rather than he backpedaled from it. And it's nice asleep because I hear snoring.
Somebody's sleeping.
I don't know who's snoring, because the only Rage, you got somebody snoring over there?
I'm hearing things. Sorry.
Maybe I was breathing into the mic.
No,
Sorry.
I heard it too. So
I heard it too. So you guys are not crazy. I heard it too.
Sorry. I'm just sorry. My thoughts are, if you're a MAGA supporter and you regret your vote, it's too late for you, because you are okay with that action of Trump, mocking disabled without any regret. And you can Google this, Hassan.
Yes, I'm listening.
He got a nephew, and his nephew's son has a disability, a mental disability.
Down syndrome.
Down syndrome. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Down syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And his nephew approached him in the Oval Office asking for help. Do you know what Trump said to him? It is an interview. Your son, referring to nephew son, your son doesn't recognize you. You should come back to Florida and live with me because your son doesn't recognize you. These people doesn't have the right to live.
Yeah, you said something like you should leave him out in the woods for unalivement or something.
But
So it's gruesome for him because there's millions of disabled people that cannot even fucking defend themselves.
of course, man. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. And by the way, I'm sorry if I like I portrayed my statements as I'm not a Trump supporter, bro. I don't agree with anything that Trump does. I'm fully against Trump, but I don't want you to like misunderstand what I was trying to say. But at the same time, you cannot also say that everybody that voted for President Donald Trump is somebody who hates or who is against or does not advocate for or again, what's the
I can.
sorry.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna drop because I I cannot believe what I'm hearing
No, you
from him.
listen.
Well, some people were one issue voters, especially about AB. There were a lot of people that did that, but however, there are, if you dig deeper, under those people, a lot of them underlying issues of racism as well.
See, here's the problem. May I, Ray?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. So here's the problem. Okay. Um, these people, let's say they don't hate people. Let's say that their issue was AB. Let's just say that. But see, that means that Donald Trump's racism wasn't a red line for them. That
Right.
means Donald Trump being found civilly liable of the essay of a woman wasn't a red line for them. Donald Trump having 31 women come out against him, accusing him of different forms, different degrees of SA, wasn't a red line for them. Donald Trump sitting here and taking away protections from black people wasn't a red line for them. Donald Trump making statements like the Central Park Five is still guilty, even though they had been exonerated by DNA evidence, wasn't a red line for them. Donald Trump saying that somebody doesn't look Indian enough wasn't a red line for them. Donald Trump being a misogynistic prick wasn't a red line for them. All of these things, Donald Trump being mentioned in the e-files, and it's being proven beforehand, saying that leaks saying that he's in there. These leaks came out years ago. That wasn't a red line for them.
Yeah,
Like
I mean
all of
that just shows how much you guys suck. Could you imagine
Oh,
if
shut
this
up.
Nazi racist was still
Hamtaro, shut the fuck up. You know, it's just the fact that you guys are
saying,
this
guys?
disgusting and sick.
Just think
That's
about
what
it.
the problem is.
Just think
It's
about it.
just because you guys are this disgusting and sick. You guys don't care about people.
Sure.
And here you go, Hassan. A prime
But
indication
what?
right
Why
here.
did you refer to? I'm not. Bro. I'm not a pro Trump. I'm not MAGA.
I
I'm
didn't
not.
say that you were. I'm just expressing that I'm just showing you this is a prime example of how they act. No, this is the reason why. No, I will not trust you. Look, see, here's the thing, okay? All right. I am a white person that doesn't trust white people.
Right.
I'm a white person that doesn't trust white people because I live on the hill, like Muhammad Ali said, that if you have 10,000 snakes coming down that hill and there's 1,000 snakes that are not going to hurt you, they want to do right, they want to be your friend, this and that and the third, does that mean you're going to let all of them in or are you going to sit here and close the door?
Can
Because
I?
white people have proven to me in my almost 50 years on this earth that they are not trustworthy.
Right.
And like they, you know, I don't. As a general rule, I don't. because I can see exactly why it is that black and brown people have a problem with white people. I know that if I go
Right.
out, I don't expect any black or brown person to give me the benefit of the doubt,
Right.
because why should they?
Look, my issue is that gentleman that came up here. He's an American. You're an American.
I
Um,
don't care.
but
Look, the problem with this
just give me a
country,
second. Just give 30
I
seconds,
can't even. You know what? Fine.
bro. Just give me a second.
You're too busy worried about appealing to my humanity about them. You want to know
No,
why
no.
they act this way? I'm going to put it simple to you, because the people of the Confederacy were never dealt with properly. The Nazis in Germany were let into this country and never dealt with properly. That
Lack
is
of
the
accountability.
problem here, because we
Yeah.
have never continuing for fucking 150 to 200 years of sitting here and having like fucking thousands of YT supremacy groups. That has never been dealt with properly. Not one YT supremacy group has ever been
Held
designated a fuck.
responsible. No one has
I'm
been
gonna
held
drop. I'm
responsible. You're
dropping.
right.
I'm not talking with us.
Twisted, what you're saying is absolutely right.
I was agreeing with him too. I don't know. Sorry, yeah, interruption maybe is what uh, made- pissed him off. I'm sorry, man, but I was agreeing with you 100%.
Well, it's when you come back and you're like, but this, but that. It's like almost like
It's
he was trying to tell you why it's hard for anybody to trust somebody that has voted for Trump, how they're not a safe person. And
I
if you
agree.
okay,
But
well,
the problem is not about trusting. And trust is something that is a feeling. That is something that it's like not tangible. You get what I'm saying? Like you cannot get accountability. You cannot hold somebody responsible by trusting him and not trusting him. That's not how accountability is. Uh, you know, met. Yeah, or fulfilled. Um, when we talk about somebody who was wronged, robbed, unalived, there somebody needs to pay the price to right that wrong, and you cannot ask the American citizen to do something about his vote. خلاص, the vote is
Saying,
done.
wait. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Are you married?
About to be.
Are you married?
About to be. I'm engaged.
Okay, let me ask you something. If the person you're gonna get married to, you found out was messing around with somebody else, okay? You found out that they were cheating on you. What would your reaction be?
Um, uh, from what sense? Like, would I break up with them? Would I cut off the relationship? Yes, definitely. I would not trust them anymore.
And why would that be?
Because they took the trust that I gave them, and they took advantage. Like they betrayed me. They betrayed me. That's the word.
Thank you. So now, do you understand what we're trying to say about voting for somebody?
So was it okay? The people who voted for Trump betrayed America. You're gonna kick them out of America? Like, what are you going to do with them? Or is it that Trump betrayed America, so we can hold by law? It is we can hold Trump accountable for betraying America. It's
Yeah, but
Trump that betrayed America.
we also got to hold them accountable for their morals and values in the first place. See,
How?
now there's one thing you didn't know, Hussein. Okay, you got to realize this is Trump's second term. We this is actually 8 years of him. Okay, they didn't learn the first time. Okay, in other words, they voted him back in. And now they're sitting back and going, "Oh my God, we made a mistake." Yeah, well, you stupid assholes didn't learn the first time.
Okay.
So this is actually the second time, Hussein, that these people that are the Republicans voted for him. So that's the second time that they betrayed all the rest of us. So no, this time if they're going, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. What's the old expression? First time,
Fool
shame
me
on
once, shame on
me.
me. Fool me twice.
Yeah. So basically, just because they're backpedaling and everything right now, if they don't step up to the plate and start really voting even blue and we don't see any changes, we're going to be very much leery of them. And if it comes down to it, what's going to be horrible is, yeah, they are going to start seeing the blue side turning the tables, and they're going to get their just desserts, because there's one thing that people do not understand about Democrats, okay? But oh, you're going to take away our pew pews. Oh, you're going to do this, that. No, they don't understand that a lot of us have pew pews. A lot of us know how to defend ourselves, but we also have the education level of when to use them. Okay? So when we get back in office, that's when we will be handing them the dessert that they deserve. And they're not going to like it, but maybe by the grace of whatever created us, they will finally learn that their morals, their values, their things that they these are even personal friends or their politics or whatever. Maybe they'll finally learn their lesson not to do it again before we all go pew. And there we go, folks. He ran like the little bitch that he is. Thank you.
Right on cue, Slay. It's 12:30 my time.
Alrighty, yeah, that worked out well.
Love you guys. Thank you so much, Slay. Thank you so much, Rage.
Right back at you,
Love
Critter.
you. Good night.
All right, good night. Take care.